Sugar Blue. I am sick. So if I'm coughing and shit, that's why. I started this yesterday while being sick, and now we're just kind of working on this. Dude,
just sort of seen as the sum of your mistakes
this
for you,
little
or the sum of your
here.
past for you.
Right.
And the challenging thing is it's been complicated for a while. I mean, we are still friends. We have children together. We go on trips together.
Right.
There's a spectrum of being together, not together. He is just revealing that they are friends, that they're
Is this?
co-parenting their
I
kids.
did something wrong here. Hold on. One, two, and then yeah, that's right. That is right. Let's go back over here. I guess I should actually watch the video. Hold on.
It's going pretty well. Maybe it's because as a therapist I live in awkward or at least conversations about awkward things or things that aren't comfortable to talk about. But so far, they seem to be comfortable talking to each other, which is good. The way that everyone wants to know, like, are you guys still like an item? Are you guys still a couple? Like, no. We really haven't been at all this last 3 years.
Okay, so
Bum. There's moments when we kind of tried, but just because you go to a Taylor Swift concert together doesn't mean that you're, that all is forgiven.
No, like, people ask me, like, do you forgive Ned for what he did? And I mean, the answer is no. Absolutely not.
All right, so I came up with the following definition in my deep dive on apologies. You can listen to that if you're a patron of the podcast. But I came up with this after reading the clinical literature, after also reading layperson literature and thinking about it clinically myself with my clients, and also thinking about forgiveness and apologies as a human being. Forgiveness is an intentional process that eventually results in a decision to end one's negative attitudes and feelings towards the transgressor regarding a particular transgression. So let's break this down. An intentional process, meaning that it's a process that takes time and it's a choice that you make. You intended to do it. It's not something that just sort of happens. And it's also not usually particularly
excuse me.
It's a process that sort of like grief. So an intentional process that eventually results in the decision to end one's negative attitudes and feelings towards the transgressor about that particular transgression. So you can forgive someone about one transgression, but not others. So that's the definition. Now, it's important to note that forgiveness can occur regardless of the transgressor asking for forgiveness. So, say someone hurt you and then they die before they ever apologize, you can still go down an intentional process of eventually resulting in not having negative feelings and attitudes about that transgression.
All right.
Forgiveness can be granted or decided upon. And then,
backwards.
We grant forgiveness.
And then
but you don't have to even see it that way.
We go
for your own reasons, not as a gift to the other person.
Up one.
You can also forgive someone who doesn't deserve
one
to be forgiven. That's
one.
just up to you. Also, forgiveness can be internal and private,
and then
it can also be expressed to the transgressor or to the public. It's important to note that forgiveness is different from forgetting. Those are different things. Or approving. Definitely forgiveness.
Oh, I did it! No, I didn't. No, I fucking didn't. Alright,
forgiveness does not necessarily mean re-engaging. So she could forgive forgive him and still not want to be with him anymore, that kind of thing. Also, it's important to note that in our culture, we have a lot of pressures from either side. You will have people pressuring her to forgive because it's the Christian thing to do, or it's the thing to do because otherwise you're holding on, you're not letting go, you're choosing to be angry and bitter or something like that. That's not the case. Forgiveness, those things can get in the way of one's forgiveness, but that's a choice that you can make for yourself. If she wanted to remain bitter and angry and not forgive him and quote unquote hold on to this for the rest of her life, that would be fine. And there's nothing harmful to her or anyone else around her to make that choice. That's case by case basis. But you also get pressure from the other side that will say that she should never forgive him because to do so would be to approve of it or to have a bad, to be a bad role model for other
coming in
people
this
who
way.
have been a victim of this sort of thing, and no one can tell her what she should do about this. So she has not forgiven him.
How can you forgive somebody for, like,
And I don't know how the frick that's supposed to happen.
No.
Let's see.
No.
So from that statement, it sounds like for her, forgiveness is very much tied to letting it go and re-engaging, which some people will define forgiveness that way, which is fine. But it doesn't have to involve that. You can forgive and absolutely remember what that person did to you and incorporate that into your approach to that relationship.
The past, and
excuse me.
It's hard to hear you saying like "fuck no, I don't forgive you." Of course I get it. I mean, I can. You're still, as much progress as we've had, you're still very angry.
Yeah, I'm angry.
No shit, Ned. She's gonna be angry. You cheated on her. You betrayed her trust. Now you're upset that she don't trust you anymore.
But it's also kind of a natural change that we go through as we go on that process. But at any rate, she is saying, I'm still angry. Yes, I'm very angry. So that's that part of it. Still having negative feelings about the transgression. And until those feelings go away, or until she's ready to not have those or not entertain those feelings anymore, then she's not ready to forgive. Mexican beer meets bold flavors and spices. To forgive.
Alright, now we want to do this same little thingy over here. He didn't do that like this, but I kind of figured that's where this was going, so that's where we are. In progress, so we go up one, and then
I couldn't.
It's stairs.
Couldn't compute.
That's interesting. I was wondering where she was when she did find out, because it could have gone a lot of different ways. She could have said, I had wondered about it all along, I had suspicions, or because you cheated before, it was nothing new, or our relationship was going so bad behind the scene, or whatever. But it sounds like none of that was true, that it was completely out of the blue. And
okay, I think that was it, yeah. And then we just have to do...
and their stories. Sometimes I'll have a client who, in between two sessions, will have an event like this, whether it's a couple or an individual client.
Oh, why did you fall? I was squatted.
I had a client where his wife butt dialed him while she was having sex with the guy. So it can be extremely difficult, obviously, and can be very disorienting, and can even be traumatic to the point of creating PTSD. I had a client who had PTSD and all the symptoms. I did a full assessment. I used the TSI-2, all that kind of stuff. And I tried to figure out what the trauma specifically, she identified it was a moment like this, but that's not typically what we will see as a cause of PTSD 2 years later.
It's not.
But after doing a thorough
Is this
assessment,
one? This
there
one?
was
This
no
one?
other
Which one?
candidate, and
Now I
the
have
way
to go
she
back over here and
described
check.
it was akin to this. There's very different reactions to discovering infidelity, and one of the reactions that I've learned over the years is to actually have a terror response, because it throws everything in question.
So it's on this
Which is
one.
normal, right? But it can be very scary to suddenly realize that your entire world is not as it seems. You start to wonder, well, what else is wrong about my assumptions? Is it wrong to assume that anyone cares about me, that anyone is telling the truth to me? Am I an idiot? Can I depend on my own judgment? Like, it can really be a scary moment. It's not the typical reaction. I mean, there's always a bit of that, but the sort of terror response,
All
the
right.
adrenaline, and the neurology of trauma, she's not saying that yet. Maybe she will. But so, just to wrap up that story, I had that client, and I did that assessment, and I went on the assumption that it was that discrete moment where she found out that her husband had been cheating. And when we did the regular exposure therapy on that traumatic event, the PTSD symptoms went away. So it was very clear that that was the trauma that caused PTSD. And side note, it's very annoying that in the current DSM language, she wouldn't qualify for PTSD because the trauma doesn't fit the criteria for trauma, and it's really annoying. I've always suggested that the DSM just have language, and instead of
I like
adding all these
so
scenarios
like
that qualify as trauma, they should just say that the individual has a terror response to an event, and just have a general statement.
you
But
like come up
yeah,
from
so
the
she's saying
mine.
it was a shock, and it didn't compute.
It's like for some reason I didn't see what was actually there in the picture. I thought it was your sister. And I remember sending it to you and being like, what's your sister doing in New York?
I'm hearing a little bit in her voice of seeing that self 3 years ago and either being astonished with that reaction of hers, or maybe even some judgment, like, how could I be so stupid? If so, I would say there's no judgment that would be justified there. A lot of people, when they experience something like this, will beat themselves up, say, I should have known. And they'll get it from the outside, too. They're so public, I'm guessing they got all the stigma from
Okay.
all the different directions, including this one.
Now what
It's
do you
just
want
a
me to
guess,
do,
but
guy?
come internally anyway. It doesn't take a genius to know that people can cheat very effectively, meaning that you're not stupid if you didn't see it. One, if you're a good person, you tend to trust people. Two, given his lifestyle, I'm just going to take a guess, travel and video,
Okay.
making, all the
Dun.
things that are involved in that probably created a lot of situations where he would be gone for hours at a time and
Can't tell
would
if
have a viable
that's
excuse, Plus, it was with a coworker or an underling, depending on how you look at it,
a stair
and they would naturally be
and
together all
then
the time. Sounds like
solid
she's saying,
blocks.
I was looking at a
Those are all
picture and I
stairs.
just
Okay.
couldn't accept it. My brain saw your sister. Like I was going into denial, which we'll do even under calm circumstances, but our brains, when we're under threat, will engage in denial.
So
Sometimes,
then we want
we might hear stories or have been through
stairs.
situations where someone will die, and it will be the individual will be informed of the death, and the individual will accept it. It's overwhelming. It's too much for my mind to handle.
And I think back on that and I think like, what was
I need lotion. Did I not grab any?
It sounded like she was
Oh,
judging
I did.
herself.
Okay.
I hope that she's on the road to not judging herself, because it's totally normal. What it says is that she's a good person who trusted her husband, who probably had never given any indication of cheating in the past.
what was going on? Like what was so fucked up in my brain that I couldn't actually see what was happening in this picture? Like the picture was right there in front of me. you know?
It is interesting, though, and I think she's engaging in that as well, of fascination with one's brain. And yeah, it is fascinating. Fascinating.
This car has a camera. It was like, I think that person just took a picture of us. And so we went inside and we talked about it a little bit, and then we had our therapy session, and then we came out, and then there were multiple people outside, and it was probably one of the strangest situations that I personally have ever been in. I did not know what to do with my face, and so my reaction when I don't know what to do with my face is I smile.
Yeah. All right. So from context, I'm guessing that this video or these videos and pictures went on the internet, and a lot of people might have been commenting on it, maybe judging her, which is horrible. I write about this a lot in my book on grief that I'm going to publish hopefully sometime soon, that when people, particularly women, when they have reactions that are deemed by the public to be incongruent with the situation, then they are judged from afar. I just don't understand why people don't realize that public figures aren't in a constant state of whatever you think they should be feeling or thinking or something. I don't know. But anyway, so maybe some people thought that she was faking the whole thing, or it was all, there's always an accusation of they're just doing this for clout, they made up the affair, or something. Yeah, I just, yeah. I mean, one, why are people following them around? Why are they taking pictures of them? So, yeah, thanks.
Yeah. I think there was a lot of sort of delusions and rationalizations that you, as the person doing that, sort of are telling yourself as to why it's not so bad. Or
Yeah, just a little comment on what he's saying there. He's saying that he had, looking back, he had very dubious justifications for continuing or starting the affair. And that's very, very common. I've had many conversations with cheaters before, actually, I was going to say, not before, but before, during, and after infidelity. I've worked with clients at all stages of it. Before, meaning I can see the writing on the wall that they're heading down a road of possibly cheating in the future. I can never predict the future, but I will hear certain things, certain urges that they'll have. Typically today it involves making an anonymous profile on a dating app or something like that, and there will be a justification for it, like, oh, I was drunk the other night and I just thought it'd be kind of fun to just experiment and just kind of play around. Yeah, I was just doing it on a lark. Now it might be that, but it can be a obviously and talking to you, and they will all this.
Stop making fun of me. I'm sick. You're such a brat.
For psychopaths, I mean, they might make justifications as well, but they don't have to because they
You're such a
don't
brat.
have empathy. So for the rest of us, the vast
Hi,
majority
brat,
have
brat.
empathy. I'm assuming that he has empathy.
Hi, brat, brat.
Compassion and care for others. That had
Hi, baby.
mental gymnastics to justify it to himself, and that's almost always the case. Also, it's important to note that these justifications
You.
occur slowly and iteratively over time. Like the example I gave where, well, I'm just doing this on a lark. You could argue for, the person could say, I'm not cheating, I'm just doing this as a silly experiment, and I wasn't actually going to meet up with anyone. I wasn't even really flirting. I was just kind of browsing just to see what people are doing, or I was researching for a book or whatever. So every step of the way, the justification is a small step forward. But by the time they're caught, the justifications will be bizarre. People will have absolutely bizarre justifications.
Come on.
Compartmentalization, gleaning from context, I wouldn't be surprised if he had a justification like, well, it's just temporary, and it's not even that big of a deal, you know, because the woman that he had an affair with, I think, was engaged or was in a long-term relationship herself, and he could say, we both have our lives, so this has to end at some point. Or, look, I'm on the road, and we're both on the road, and we're both lonely souls, and so we're just a little reprieve from all of that while we're doing all of our things together. Or another justification is, well, Ariel, we've had our conflicts, and she refuses to talk about them. So what else am I supposed to do? None of these are viable justifications for repeatedly lying over and over and over and over and violating the trust and the agreement over and over. I say this because often cheating, especially for
Okay.
cheaters, will be equated to a mistake that just happened once.
Fudgesicles.
And no, even
Fudgesicles.
if the infidelity is for a week,
Fudgesicles.
the number of choices the individual made to lie, either flat out lie or lie by omission or risk harming the person, if you actually just broke it down by decision, it would be in the thousands, and especially if it's over a long period of time. There are, depending on how you categorize a moment in time in which you can decide to go this way or that way, it could be in the millions, because at any point in time he could have decided not to do this. He could have told Ariel about it. There's so many times when he could have decided a different thing, and he kept deciding to have the affair until he was caught. That's another detail. He had to come clean.
If you're playing alone, highly recommend going for the Barbarian. The Barbarian is the pinnacle of this game. Oh, believe me, I'll create a new account to show you. Once you're in, choose the Barbarian and level up by taking down low level.
Was caught by it because he
Okay.
talks about it in this way, and then it's like I remember that moment. It all just kind of like fell down where I totally could see how.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm just sick. But I haven't streamed in like 2 days because I'm sick. So it's like I need a stream. So here we are. Yeah, I'm sick. I don't need these ones anymore. I need. I guess these will do.
From the outside, it might sound like, what? It doesn't take a genius to predict or know that you're harming someone by doing that. What are you talking about? But like I said, the mind can do a lot of different mental gymnastics. Now, it doesn't mean that it's okay. It doesn't mean that you should trust this person. So this is, I'll just tell you from my personal, people can make their own personal choices, but this is not me talking as a clinician. It's more me talking as a person. If I were in a relationship with him,
oh, I already had. If I have any more medicine, I'll probably like overdose right now. So I'm just suffering through it. Unfortunately, kind of sucks, but it is what it is. You know, you just gotta keep the positive vibes going and hope for the best.
I don't know if they're calling him that, but I'm just gonna take a guess.
Usually this is 2, so this is 1.
There's something deeply wrong with him that resulted in him not only beginning the affair but continuing with it.
That seems plausible. Move the stairs back.
That would be huge
And then
consideration before continuing a relationship with them. See, there's a difference there, right?
stairs and then solid brick or solid. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Excuse me. Meat. Oops. totally missed that. um, jump, and then we destroy the stair. We'll crouch. Hopefully the crouch is gonna work. Because I've had it just kill me too. Skip, skip, and stop. This is right. Okay.
It starts to manifest in some very strange ways, and justification. I'm not saying that's the case, but the point is that that's what I would be thinking. It can be deceptive sometimes because cheaters
That's funny.
can sometimes be very apologetic and say, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'll never do it again." Well,
There we
how would you know they're
go.
not never going to do it again? Because you didn't know they're going to do it in the first place. They didn't even know they were going to do it in the first place. How do you know they're not going to do it again?
Whoa.
Now, the path
I
forward
failed it.
is a lot of in-depth individual therapy.
He removed something, so I'm thinking I missed a block. But, it don't matter, because apparently I was supposed to miss that block anyways.
Healing those issues so that they're less likely.
Uh,
All right, just chiming in here. This is the end of part one. Tune in next time.
I
Maybe
think
tomorrow, I'm guessing, when I publish part two.
some of these
And everyone
guys.
out there, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.
And then, boom, boom, boom. Alright, what do you want out of this? Alright, I hate when they do this, but okay. Feel like that needs to be fixed, but what the hell do I know? Oh, damn. Okay. So now these need to be 7 all together. Let me double check though. I gotta see where that line ends.
So what do you think?
So yeah, 7 from here. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, I don't think that is even.
So are you gonna tell me why this is not true?
Everything about this feels like a cliche. She's exploding. Hey, deserving listeners, a lot of you.
Because some states, they pioneered a new technology called let people come into our store, walk out with whatever they want, and we won't prosecute them. Yes, Minnesota has legalized crime.
Earlier this week, Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty said her office would soon stop prosecuting felony crimes stemming from low-level traffic stops. Police chiefs across Hennepin County are calling out what they describe as a harmful announcement.
This new directive is deeply troubling.
And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton. And of course, it helps you because it helps us
Okay,
keep bringing you these stories every day. Now, y'all,
no,
if you are like me, you may have been to a
I'm gonna
Target,
meet
a
back up in the
CVS, a
middle, like
Walgreens,
right
or
here.
any of a number of stores that have recently,
Let's
in
go
the past,
1,
say
2,
several
3,
years,
4,
that have installed
5.
these big, like, glass or
Okay,
plastic clear,
I
see-through
think this
plastic
one's
type
up.
of cases where when you want to buy something, you have to call to a clerk. They have to the
Excuse
key
me.
and open it up. And you say, hey, I want to see that one. Then you look at it, you read it, like, no, I don't
Okay.
want this one. You hope they don't walk away because you might want to see the other kind of whatever, detergent or whatever it is you're looking to buy. It's just a very uncomfortable experience. It costs you time, it costs you
Okay.
effort, sometimes frustration, and I'm sure for the clerk too, they
Did
have
I?
better things to do than
I
to
did
stand
those
there
wrong.
while
Damn
you're
it.
reading, the ingredients.
Grab some of
The ingredients
these.
in
I'm
the
gonna
dish
need
liquid that you're trying to buy. And why do we have to live like this?
this.
Because some states, they pioneer technology called let people come into our stores, walk out with whatever they want, and we won't prosecute them. Some states, I think maybe some of those western states like California, they say, hey, if you steal under 950 bucks, yeah, shoplifting, but we're not gonna really worry about that. So people start saying, oh, word? And we've all seen the videos of people just walking into the store and taking whatever they want. So in a sense, those states legalized crime and it affected all of us. I'm all the way on the other side of the country, and that traveled right across
You know
the
what? I
country to
gotta
my area. I'm sure to your area too. And now we
pull up
all
my
have to
chat
suffer
because
the
it's starting to do
consequences
the
of this.
chat thing. So I pull up my stream on YouTube's.
What goes wrong? Ah, yes, floor 100. Good thing I'm not afraid of heights.
Consequences of this.
Let's see.
Well, y'all, I have bad news for you. Okay? Are you
Come
sitting
on.
down? Are you
You can
buckled
load
up in your
faster.
car? Are you sitting down? Minnesota has just legalized crime, y'all. It's a new type of crime legalization that is probably going to be coming
My channel.
to a woke DA's office near you. I'm sorry for the worst.
Chat.
I'm sorry this is something we are encountering in our reality, but yes, Minnesota has
There we go.
legalized crime, and
Oh, you know
to
what?
explain
I
it to you
didn't
today, this
put
is not an
retro in my book.
exaggeration.
I
This
gotta
is
go put
not
retro in my
clickbait.
book. I gotta go find
Just
my
like
book.
California legalized
Um,
shoplifting,
is it in
Minnesota
here?
has
Yeah.
also legalized crime,
Totally forgot to
as
put
have
retro in my
58.
book.
So let's go ahead and hop right into it. But before we do, y'all, make sure you
Enter
take care of your money. I'm not gonna make this
R
a long one, y'all. Go to
T
paralegal,
V dot
ARALEGOLD.com or
no
call 844-651-8334.
retro
844-651-8334. If you have $50 to $100,000 or more in
terminal
your retirement, protected from inflation, protected from monetary debasement, you're about to retire. Make sure your money's
velocity.
still there and it's still worth something by investing at least some of it in gold. Talk to our partners at Augusta Precious Metals. Go click on the
Okay, there we go.
value
We got
get
another
free
name for our
information
book.
and protect your precious
Oh,
retirement.
Police chiefs across Hennepin County are calling out what
um,
they described as a harmful
and come back to
announcement.
this.
Deeply troubling.
Earlier this week, Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty said her office would soon
Okay,
stop prosecuting felony crimes stemming from low-level
so
traffic stops. Think expired tags,
now
broken tail and headlights, faulty windshield wipers.
Non-public safety traffic stops harm our community, in particular our Black and Brown community members.
She says this is also ineffective and discriminatory, citing a DOJ report that found in 2018 MPD recovered a gun in less than 1% of traffic stops. But this group says a lot has changed.
It was made without consultation, without collaboration, and without respect for those of us who serve these residents every day.
Minnetonka Police Chief Scott Borboom is the president of Hennepin County Chiefs of Police Association. His group cited a number of examples of a traffic stop resulting
it's
in
even
finding a dangerous criminal.
Just this year, our deputies and detectives have seized 377 illegally possessed guns. Nearly half, 47%, of those
1,
illegally
2.
possessed guns we've confiscated are from traffic stops.
Hennepin County Sheriff DeWanna Witt acknowledged discrimination does exist, but says the abuse of authority is not as widespread as Moriarty makes it seem. Activist and attorney Nakima
All
Lee
right.
Armstrong said during
So then it
Moriarty's
does
announcement, these disparities
this,
are very real.
I believe that it will reduce trauma in our community. It will reduce wasting the time of
and
officers
then
who need to be
this.
focused on solving some of the serious
I
crimes and
need
murders. The
some
criminals are paying attention to
slabs.
what
I
put
forgot my
more lives at risk.
slabs.
Moriarty responded in
Probably
a
pull out some
statement
trap
saying other
doors too,
jurisdictions have
just in
implemented the same
case.
policy and the same objectives
Glad I did
arise every
that.
time and they are overcome by the
Okay.
policy change
Bum,
being successful every
bum,
time.
and then
I just found out
bum,
that one of my favorite
and
games, Magic the
then
Gathering, is available on mobile, and
D.
I am
Oh, I need stairs too. I
obsessed with
didn't
my
grab
Putty
stairs.
Plushie that is so fun, has
Bup, bup, bup,
amazing
bup, bup,
art, and
bup.
awesome cosmetics. If you like strategy, throwing
Um,
cards, or PvP, this is
there's
every
stairs.
time. Now, Ramsey County has had a similar policy since 2021. An assessment from the Justice Innovation
Transportation Lab shows public safety was not negatively impacted. I reached out to half a dozen agencies in Ramsey County, and Maplewood Police just got back to me. They said they have actually seen this as a positive change, and their officers have been able to concentrate on traffic stops that may threaten safety, like speeding tickets. Chris?
So, Sammy, does this change the way that law enforcement can pull people over?
Now, the association today, who had that press conference, says nothing's going to change for them. They're still going to do the same work they've been doing, and the law doesn't change. It's just how the
So
attorneys
then
are going
he
to prosecute
does
these felony cases that come from these low-level
do
traffic stops.
So as you can see there, I'm going to explain
skip
it to you,
one.
even though they did a
1,
good job on that news
2,
piece.
3
Currently, well, previously, I should say, if a police officer
lantern,
saw you had your tail light was
and
out or
then
something, they could pull you
it
over.
looks like we
If they felt that
skip
you were suspicious for any
2,
reason, what they
maybe
could do is conduct a search. Okay, there's
2,
steps
another
they have to
2,
follow,
1.
following Fourth Amendment protocols. No unreasonable search or seizure, but there are ways they can try to get themselves into a search of your car if they felt you were suspicious or that something was off. Okay, so what kind of things might they uncover? Drugs, guns, whatever. Contraband. You might have a warrant, whatever the case may
That
be.
doesn't look
Now,
right.
Hennepin County in Minnesota, which is probably the most important
I
county,
like how I have
okay,
double jump, but
is
I
the
don't jump any
largest of the
higher.
city's metro area. It includes the largest city in Minnesota, Minneapolis. They just decided that if police officer pulls over your car for a minor traffic infraction, and then they were to search your car and find something that constitutes a felony, generally speaking, the prosecutor's office is not going to prosecute that felony that stemmed from a minor traffic stop. So you have one of those the little Christmas tree things that is supposed to smell good that you hang from your rear view mirror. Those things are probably illegal in your area. But let's just say you're in Minnesota, you're in Hennepin County, cop sees you with one of those. They're like, hey, you're not supposed to have that. They pull you over. When they come up to your window, they're like, this person's suspicious, and they get themselves into by slick talking. They get themselves into a search of your vehicle. And inside your vehicle, they find something that you're not supposed to have that constitutes a felony. Let's say a nice brick of the white stuff. Now, the prosecutor is gonna say, that yes, that person did have a brick of the nice white stuff, the good stuff. And yes, that is a felony. But we're not gonna prosecute that because you found that as a result of stopping somebody because one of the little Christmas tree things. So, y'all, you can already imagine, the reason why the Hennepin County DA is taking this step. It has to do with protecting groups of people who are historically disadvantaged and who maybe have their cars stopped at a higher rate than other cars, and
Oops.
maybe have their crimes uncovered at a higher rate than other groups. So the solution is, let's cover our eyes up and let's act like we didn't even see the crimes. Okay? So the real idea is to try to get the police to stop people less often and to search people less often, and thereby signal to all the criminals, yo, crime, it's open season for crime, baby, just like they did with the shoplifting thing. Okay? So, y'all, this comes at a perfect time in Minnesota when there are mass shootings, when there are every other week there's a major fraud scandal that's uncovered, and now they're signaling to the criminals, hey, we're figuring out
That's
ways to
right.
let you get away with that. Y'all, take a look at this crazy fraud scheme that they just uncovered. I don't know how much. Minnesota has to be like the fraud capital of the world at this point, y'all. Take a look at this. The money was just simply
Excuse me. Alright, hold on. Oh man, I've been muted. I forgot. I sneezed a while back, really bad, and
left-leaning people that are deciding to become politically
just
independent,
forgot to
stepping
keep
away from the
going.
mindset that
Sorry,
they previously
guys.
had. Because with everything going on recently, it's becoming increasingly evident that there are a lot of people who are just decided that they no longer identify with their left-wing friend groups or the left-wing mindset that is going around. And oftentimes, it's not even so much that you don't identify with them, but they don't identify with you anymore. They've gone so extremely far left to where it's like you seem like you're on the right, you seem like you're a Republican, but not many of your values have changed. And for some, yes, there have been radical changes where we went from super on the left to super on the right, or on the left to more center right. But regardless, it is something that we're seeing is that the left is getting increasingly more left. On this topic of leaving the left, there are two things that we know for certain. One is that you're not alone for thinking and feeling how you are right now. Whether you're just processing everything and you're not really sure what to think, or you are someone that left the left, the feeling that you're feeling right now is common. And two, there are immigrants, women, black people, gay people, trans people, Hispanic people, Asian people. I mean, the list goes on. Every type of human, millions of them, who think for themselves and do not align with or identify with anything liberal or left wing. You are allowed to think for yourself. We all are allowed to think for ourselves. Personally, I'm someone who has a lot of more center right views, but I do have some left wing views.
Okay.
I'm human. We're human. And I'm sorry, it's only one side, the left side, that is constantly telling me I need to be in a box. The party screaming diversity is telling me, no, Amir, you're gay. You have to align yourself with the LGBTQ plus community and co-sign and agree with everything that they're saying. No, Amir, you are black. You have to have your black card. You have to hate Republicans, and you have to vote Democrat. And you have to think inside this box what it means to be black in America, and that is it. And if you're not that, you are exiled. And I'm sorry, there are tons of people out there that are incredibly over it, and that is exactly what this video is about today. So if you like this kind of content, be sure to subscribe, and without further ado, let's dive right into this video.
Hello there, I am a former liberal who grew up in Portland, Oregon, which if you know anything about that city is one of the most progressive cities in the entire country. I also have a bachelor's degree in social work. I have worked for the government, I have worked for DHS. I have basically spent my whole young adult life advocating for liberal ideologies.
She is like the quote-unquote liberal. Like that is a template. Being in Portland, everything you do, like that is like damn.
I'm a little late to be posting anything about what has been happening with Charlie Kirk, but I'm ready to finally speak out because I have been grieving so hard for somebody I've never met before. The shift for me really happened when I started doing more research, doing more digging, and not just taking the clickbait headlines word for word. Is when I actually went in and looked for the full context that I started to change my mind and not really support a lot of what my peers were saying or what they were posting.
That is exactly what happened to me. Literally, my life was led by headlines. It was led by headlines, whatever was going on in the group chat, and whatever.
Helplines? Not for me. But divorce, losing my kids maybe, I didn't feel tough.
Whatever wouldn't piss people off, truly. If I could just like stay in the circle, stay in the group chat, not ruffle any feathers, that's what I went along with. And it wasn't until I started researching for myself the headlines that they were saying, all the context behind it, that was when it really changed for me. Because oftentimes when it comes to these headlines, there is some truth to it. Like a quick example is a statement, oh, there are more white people on food stamps and there are more black people on food stamps. Both of those are true. It just depends on how you're looking at that information and what they're telling you. If someone says more white people on food stamps, yes, they're looking at the total population. There's obviously more white people in this country. More white people are on food stamps. And if someone's saying no, more black people are on food stamps, they are saying, hey, I'm not looking at the total population. I'm looking at the population of people on food stamps compared with the population of that group. So we're looking at the total population of black people in America.
This is not how he
Many
does
of
it,
the
but
black
I
people in
prefer
America
doing my
are on
rooms like
food
this.
stamps, and how many of the white people on food stamps, there's more black people utilizing food stamps than white people. So two things can be true at once, and you oftentimes have one side of each saying one thing that is true but lacks that context. And it wasn't until I really looked into that was when my mind really started to open up and things started to change.
Hello, I'm here to remind you that you're allowed to change your mind just because where you started doesn't have to be where you stay. One of my biggest problems that I kept seeing over and over again, especially with my liberal peers, because I have a lot of them, was the lack of seeking to understand.
I
is basically what I saw a lot of. Because when I went in and I did the research on certain topics, I was dumbfounded why we were all saying one thing when I didn't actually believe
How'd
it
I
anymore.
know?
And I
How'd
also
I
just want to
know?
say that both sides can be guilty of just seeing a headline and reposting it and running with it. So if you're watching this right now, regardless of what side you're on, I just want to challenge you to always fact check everything instead of just taking a headline, especially right now with social media, you guys. There is so much fake information that is just being pushed out. It's actually insane. And
Alright, I guess not to watch that again.
Repost something that's just factually not correct. So, listen, just do your research, and I just challenge you to fact check everything.
And if you respect yourself, you would do the due diligence.
So then,
Everything before you
this?
If you're gonna have an opinion on something, know your opinion. For so long, I didn't know why I felt the way I felt. I knew why I was saying it because I was black, because I was gay, because I wanted to stay in a friend group, because I was left on the left and had to fit in, and that was just my mindset. I just grew up that way. No, you don't have to lock yourself in that box. It is okay to challenge yourself and grow. That's not a bad thing to do. And I'm glad more people are waking up. I'm glad more people are doing this. I'm glad more people are getting the courage, especially in light of Charlie Kirk and what happened with that, to speak up. Because if you truly respect yourself, you should be standing on business and know why you are feeling the way you feel, and have all the receipts to back it up.
This one's weird. And then
saying what you're seeing on Twitter and it's wrong or it's lacking context, you look silly. And you don't want to look silly. You want people to trust you. You want people to like you. You want to just be a good person. At least do the due At least do the I might keep this in here. I can't say damn my damn list. Damn, due diligence. At least do your due diligence. Be knowledgeable on these topics and get some damn speech lessons. Damn, Amir.
I'm making this video because I know I'm gonna get hate comments, especially from the left, and nobody likes hate comments online.
And it's crazy. Again, the party of love.
I need to follow this.
Politically, since like 2015. And the first 3 of those years I was on the left, and then I was like more in the center towards the right. I've really only received hate from the left. Lost all my friends, some family, the whole nine. The hate comments, the threats, it all stems from the left because I'm not thinking identically to them. On the right, it's so diverse. We have like at least a shared decency, common ground, moral guiding. But damn, at least we can have a conversation. At least we can chat about it. We can like talk things out. The left, it's like you have to think that way. You have to think identically to them. And if you don't, you are getting called out and you're getting the hate comments left and right.
I used to proudly call myself a liberal. I still believe in equality, healthcare access, LGBTQ plus rights, definitely science and social programs. But I've grown really tired of the performance, the fear mongering, and the refusal to have real conversations. I don't want to be here to scream or cancel or shame somebody into agreeing with me. I believe that we need to listen to each other even when we disagree, because change doesn't happen in an echo chamber. I'm not switching sides.
I need to
stepping out of the label. I'm an independent, logic-based thinker who's done letting political parties define my humanity. I'm still progressive, but I care more about the truth than tribalism.
It's that simple. Like once you just step away from, you know what, it's hard. I mean, honestly, y'all, it's hard. It's really hard what these people are going through. And if you're going through this right now, it's not easy. I was there going from the left to the more independent, or if you even want to go Republican, you can. But like being more independent, it's hard doing that jump because your whole world is being shattered. Like your whole world of view, everything you thought, everything's being challenged, and it's hard seeing how much you were lied to. It's hard seeing how much you're misled, but the growth comes from that, and you at least first step one, recognizing it, and two, standing up for yourself, thinking for yourself, not locking yourself up in a box, not saying I am a Democrat, I am a liberal, yay, every single right, this is like, no.
If you want to argue,
Power up a new Minecraft server for you and your friends with Shockby.io Studio. We give you the tools you need to launch a fresh multiplayer Minecraft server and fully customize it with mods, plugins, and more through a simple-to-use control panel. Order your Minecraft server today for as low as $2.99 a month at Shock.
argue, go talk to somebody else. But if you're ready to listen, then it means to be red versus blue. Like, for example, here's some things that I know we can agree on. Our healthcare is broken.
Yes.
You shouldn't go bankrupt just because you got sick in red or blue states. Big corporations, for example, have too much power.
Yes.
They lobby both parties and working people end up paying the price. Veterans and the elderly deserve better care, period. No excuses. Mental health matters. It's not woke to want trauma support, for example, especially for kids and veterans. The middle class is being squeezed by inflation, housing costs, and endless debt, which is just not sustainable. We need civil liberties. Your right to speak, worship, protest, own property, and make personal choices. I think another thing that we could agree on is that we both need to protect democracy, which means fair elections, checks and balances.
Whenever I hear check, first off, the girl's snapping. Everything I agree with her on, and she's more on the left. You know, you get what I'm saying? Like, we're allowed. Like, it's so sad that it's only independents, moderates, and Republicans that are able to have these type of discussions. And you know, how about this and how about this? You only can have those conversations with those groups of people. On the left, it's either you're with me or you're a bigot. That's it. But I paused it because whenever I hear about fair election, all I can think about is how for some reason it's racist to mandate having an ID to vote. If I gotta go and present my ID to go to the club, what's wrong with me presenting an ID to vote? How about, well, black people don't have the means to go get an ID? You're supposed to have an ID, like your driver's license. If you don't drive, just get an ID. Take a bus. Take a Uber. Like you can. Another topic, another video. But that's just something that was on my mind. I couldn't stand that. Oh, it's racist if you mandate having an ID to vote. So see, the big thing. Everything's racist. Everything's homophobic. Everything's transphobic. Everything's a phobic. Can we just shut up and just talk?
Alright, I did. Which one? Looks like these two.
Nobody should be hated for how they
Incorrectly.
Basically, what I mean by that is no
This
one should
one.
be sliced for asking questions. I'm not here to hate conservatives. I'm definitely not fucking here to blindly follow liberals. I'm here because I want to bridge the gap and speak truth and hopefully make this country less divided and a hell of a lot smarter. And if that makes me hard
Matching
to categorize,
stars.
then
Oh well.
Good. Make it hard to categorize yourself. Like being independent is a very free-flowing word in the sense that I do have some, for the most part, right-wing views, and I do have some left ones. I'm just independent, but I mean, I voted for Trump. I do vote more on the right, and especially regarding Trump and Harris. I don't regret my Trump vote at all. I have been critical of Trump. There are some things I like and don't like. Another video. But we're allowed to have these conversations. We're allowed to debate these things, and it's okay. We shouldn't hate someone just for voting a certain way, especially when if you think about the amount of people, friendships and everything lost because it was, oh well, I like Obama, I like Trump, and we hate each other. They up there kicking it when they in public events with each other. You don't cancel somebody, you don't stop being friends with somebody over these two people, and then these two people already know how to be in the same room and just kick it for just 5 minutes. Come on, nah, do better. But like she was saying in the beginning of the video, it is sad that like she doesn't want to be canceled for having those views, and you know she probably is. But like the hate comments that come from it, it's like this is the silent majority. Truly, there is a silent majority because they're pushed to be silent. They're pushed to restrain to themselves, and they kind of have no one else really to talk to other than watching creators online or meeting other friends online. Or it's hard. It's lonely. It really is. Because things have just increasingly become more deranged. The fears, the threats, the doxing, it's all absurd. So truly, if you want to protect yourself from getting doxed or just any threats online, be sure to check out today's sponsor, Aura. I am more than thankful for the long time support Aura has had on this channel, and I'm more than thankful for the amount of service they have provided me and the thousands of you guys out there. Truly, because it is genuinely concerning how much of our private information is just out there on the internet willy-nilly. Because they didn't stop at getting doxed, but then now these spam phone calls, these damn UPS text messages, over it. But thankfully, all that has come to an end. Because what they do is these data brokers, they find any information they can about you, and they go online and they sell it and they profit off of it. However, with Aura, this all comes to an end. It's a service that protects your information and honestly does the work of a lot of different apps in one. They will do the reaching out to those data providers to get your information taken down because by law they have to, but they make it incredibly hard for you to ask them to do that. So just let Aura handle that for you. But they offer spam call protection, identity theft protection, financial fraud protection, it's a VPN, it's a password, so much more, all under one app that is nationally recognized and respected. It's digital protection for everything that matters in your life. And given that my life is online and your life is too, I am more than thankful that there are tools like Aura to help protect us. It's easy to use, it's sleek, and it's simple. Because truly, there are some apps that focus on one thing, but this app just simplifies it all, really, for a lot of people out there. So again, either you can continue to just let it be online as it is right now, you are profiting off of it and selling it, or you can tap the link below, scan the QR code on the screen to go to aura.com/Amir, AURA.com/Amir to start your 2-week free
Seriously,
trial.
a lantern was messing with me.
Tools like Aura exist to help protect you and I.
As long as we vote, I don't have anything else to add to this Charlie Kirk assassination horror story. What I do have to communicate is a sense of just like complete despair and horror and shame for my own political party. I have posted political content interspersed with my regular content for 10, 15, 20 years at this point.
And then
And I've
here,
never, not once, worried about being a target from violence on the left. I barely worried about it on the right, you know, like, but the way that left-wing terrorism is blooming and the way that people on the left are accepting it, supporting it, being callous, heartless. Oh, anyways, what are you guys having for dinner? Oh, thoughts and prayers. He died for what he loved.
What does smoke-free really mean? It means the freedom to choose your rewards, like the perfect fruit, or the rhythm to your workflow, or what to bring on your next adventure. Even choosing to...
It's disgusting.
It's disgusting and it's wrong. Again, I'm not saying you have to love the man or even know the man. I'm not saying that. But we should all be able to agree that, hey, that was wrong. No one deserves that, and we need to put an end to this violence. And it's sad, it's unfortunate. Like this woman said, most of the violence comes from the left. I'm not talking about Jan 6. I'm not talking about what else has happened on the right. I'm sure there's been some stuff on the right every now and then, here and there. But if we're comparing the left, hello George Floyd riots, hello all these ICE protests, it's just violence. It just results to violence. For what? What, as a black man in America, what can I not do that a white person can?
Okay.
Living in America, what rights
now
are
let's
you
go back
denied?
down.
Like, what is it that you don't have that's missing? Tell us. So many people hate America. So many people are oppressed. So many people are violent for no good reason. It makes no sense, and it all stems from one damn side. And again, you're allowed to just distance yourself from that side and say, you know what? I'm not blanketly calling myself a liberal or a leftist. I'm just independent, and I'm looking around all sides, and I'm hearing everything out. And you're allowed to do that. The same way, I'm not a bigot for like necessarily saying I'm a part of the LGBTQ plus community. No, I'm just gay. Like, I don't know how else to put it. I'm just a gay dude. That's it. I don't need nothing more than that. I'm sorry. And that doesn't make me some self-hating gay person for feeling that way. And it doesn't make you some crazy right-winger for feeling that way from the left and all the violence and chaos that they sadly are causing.
Charlie Kirk thing kind of put the nail in the coffin of me being a Democrat. I was slowly moving away from it anyway because I was noticing certain things, but I know I'm not a Republican, but I'm not a Democrat. I just noticed like certain things, like the way that the conversation would be shut down by calling somebody a name or calling somebody a bigot. It's like, okay, and why am I a bigot just because I disagree with you? Like, I can't disagree with you and still make everything work bad for you. I just disagree. It's like, oh, you're personally committing violence against me if you disagree. It's like, that's a cop out. And I would notice certain things like that.
Yeah, it's a cop out. Calling someone a bigot, racist, homophobic, or like, you're being violent against me with your words, or a vote for Trump is a vote against me. It's like, no, it is not. Look at all sides. Like, you can't. You're alienating so many people. It's why all these people are leaving the left. You alienate so many people when you shut down conversations off the bat off of one thing. And you can't do that with everybody and everything. It's unfair. It's not right. It's not productive to have a fruitful conversation. It just pushes people away.
And it's crazy because like I didn't recognize it, but because I started to just
My
see
eyes
it.
are
I
leaking
started to
like a
see how like it's
mofo
one
right
thing
now.
to believe something, it's another thing to tell somebody they're bad if they don't.
Yes.
Especially if the view is wacky, crazy, and all the way out there. You know, canceling somebody for something that they did when they was 8 years old, for something that they said when they was 8 years old, and that thing won't even slur back then. It's like, what are we like? Do like people can't grow? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's a way to keep people in control.
It's a way to keep people in control, and it's like, and nobody can grow. Like, I'm saddened by the response some people had, but the only, I say the only, but the one common ground that I am holding on to is the fact that we all do grow and change. That's the one thing I'm holding on to, which I guess is the fact that we're human. And when it comes to all these people on the left that personally I have left, or some people that I've cut off completely after the passing of Charlie Kirk, my only hope for them in the long run is that they're human and they grow up and they change. And they realize the ways they've been lied to, misled, or gaslit. Because other than that, I don't know what else is there.
And if you don't think exactly how I think, if you ever step in line, I can just like, you know, take away. You know what I'm trying to say? And it was just very controlling, but it's very evil. And like the world is very much the moral high horse of the performative activism was crazy. Like, oh, we are so oppressed, and go like ride the Starbucks. Like, there's actually people that are in different countries.
Add your real oppression. You know how privileged you are. This is the best. It's crazy out there. But it's one of the greatest countries to be in, to thrive, to create a legacy. It truly is. There's real oppression out there in the world. We're not going through as much as they are by no means. And if we are, why are you advocating for all these immigrants to come here in the first place? If you hate America, we so oppressed. People of color got it so bad in America. Why are you fighting ICE for like pushing us back out? Why are you promoting everybody? Come on in, come to America. If it sucks, why are you being fake and phony and telling people to come in if you don't even like it yourself? Be real. The moral high ground, like, oh, we're great, we're so accepting and loving of everybody and everything at all the times, no matter what they're saying. Hip hip hooray. You're going to hurt people's feelings in this world. It is okay.
Ooples and bananas. Really hope nothing goes wrong.
Yite. Good thing I'm not afraid of heights. Good thing I don't have anxiety. And good thing all my boy pets are tucked away from me. Because that would be unprofessional if I had them all out at work. I want to eat apples and bananas.
Oh no.
It is okay. That is life. Not everybody's gonna agree with you. Everybody's gonna like your opinion. That is fine. But when we go down this route of pleasing every single group of people for every little thing, we go nowhere.
And like, that's very disrespectful to them to say that you're oppressed like that. Like, you know, you make people down. And here's the thing, I had to come to the realization that like I will
Weird
go online to see
randomness.
what I should feel about a subject instead of actually saying what I did feel about the subject to see what they were saying, and I will hop on it.
Exactly what I said when she first started talking. All the time I used to just regurgitate lines, but just like say what I think I should be saying right now instead of really sitting down like, do I really feel this way? Do I think this way?
Granite.
Like let me sit down and really think like,
Brick.
I was just complaining about how much our infrastructure sucks. And I just walked over a homeless person while going to a concert downtown. So why would I be fine with bringing more people into the country, depleting resources from helping who's already needs help and giving it to more people out there? If America's bad right now, why don't we just pause on a few things? Fix it,
Son of a biscuit.
Why are we continue letting people in?
Okay.
Or, why am I living in a gated apartment complex?
I actually needed these bad boys.
Why am I saying Trump wants to build a wall when we're giving all this money to Ukraine to do what? Protect their border. To Israel to do what? Protect their border. But when we want to protect our own border, now it's racist.
Sorry, my daughter's been watching Miss Rachel, so I have her song stuck in my head.
Okay. Yeah, the 13-year-olds, they can't drink, they can't smoke, they can't vote, barely can drive, we know how much we change from 14, 16, 18, 20.
Does that actually work?
24.
Alright,
Yes,
let's try it.
we know
So this
minor who wants to
needs to
They know they want to
be.
because
I
they are
need
that way for
polished
life, and
granite
it's
again.
okay.
Okay.
While at the same time
Granite.
ignoring all the people who did
Granite.
transition, who are now trying to detransition, but more
Let's go see if this what they're asking me to do will work. You guys can't see it, but I can see what they're asking.
Really sit back and
So
think for
let's
yourself what's
see
happening in this
if
group,
what they
y'all.
want me to
Like,
do
really
will
sit back,
work.
analyze everything how you feel, and see, okay, Black Lives Matter. Right. They're in the streets a lot, we're really loud and vocal, shutting down traffic, marching downtown. Y'all know something.
No,
And I
go
see
away.
how many black
Go
unarmed men
away.
were
Leave
shot
me
and killed
alone.
in 2024. Oh, it's less than how many people got struck by lightning. That one really messed me up. That one really messed me up. And you even hear that too, okay? A black man walking down the street at night in Chicago, he's gonna get bopped. Labor Day weekend, how many people were shot and injured in Chicago? That alone, how many black people were shot in Chicago by other black people alone is more than how many black unarmed men were shot by the police in the last 3 or 4 years. But we in the streets loud for what? Really sit back and listen to these things, you guys. Challenge these things for yourself.
No shot, that actually worked. Oh my god. I didn't think that would work.
It can be very challenging, but you have to do it at least for yourself.
Hey, if it works, it works. I take it.
You have some type of security that
How do you do?
I'm
running elephant walks with you. Did I not grab polished granite? It looks like I just grabbed 2 things of granite. One of those is supposed to be polished.
You had Obama on stage talking about Trump saying good people on both sides as of last year. He said that. That's been debunked. So it happened.
Oop.
Trump did say
Tell me if
there's
I
good people on
went
both
out
sides.
the door.
And I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis or the crazy white supremacists. They should be denounced completely.
Bubble, bubble, pop.
The media is shady.
Bubble, bubble, bubble,
It's shady.
You know, I've been thinking about it the last few days, and honestly, I just feel politically homeless at this point. Like, I don't think either side of the political spectrum represents me. Like, you have the right,
and then for some reason
they
it's...
value good things like national security,
oh no, this...
small government, and they are so religious, so
excuse me.
hateful towards
It's supposed
gay
to be
and
this.
transgender people all the time.
And it's this.
So,
And then it's...
but there are way more loving
no, it's basically
Republicans,
just
even
this,
really
this,
that are very friendly
and
with
then
gay
the
people.
polished
It's just a matter
again.
of like if you're a normal
Nope.
gay or crazy gay. That's really what it is. Which that alone has its own
And
faith
then
within the gay
polished.
community. But I would love if
And
they separated
then...
gays and trans because my
fence.
experience
I
being
don't know why we're doing wood fences next to a fire, but alright.
Then you have the left who are so humanitarian that they quite literally become virtue signaling narcissists, and if you say anything contrary to them, they are... I didn't believe it until I tried it myself, but if you download the
Alright, I didn't bring black, so we're gonna use blue. Black, blue, carpet. Uh-oh, what's he doing? You got a thing on your face. What are you doing?
You will not believe how much these
Yeah?
coins are worth. If you guys are like me and inherited any old coins or gold coins in particular,
Would you like mommy to change your cartoon?
bring them out and do some research on them because they can...
Is that what you're trying to ask? You're a big girl now. You gotta ask. You gotta use your words. You gotta say, mommy, will you please turn on Paw Patrol for me? And I would say, yes, I will turn on Paw Patrol for you. But you just gotta say that. Don't think she's gonna say. It's okay. I want to But we are also at the point where she needs to start learning how to use her words. So she's not gonna go change things until she asks for it.
Thank you, Graham. Thank you, Graham. Because you would not believe that the stuff sitting in that sock drawer in that old shoebox is actually going to put a down payment on your house. And if you're wondering where you should sell these coins, or if you want to grow a collection and buy them, definitely check out Whatnot. Links are in my bio.
Are psychos and they have a lack of empathy, and you know what? I'm just tired of it. Like, I don't think I really like either side. I don't really feel like either side really represents me, and I want to throw away the whole system.
Valid, and it's okay to be politically homeless. It's okay, independent. Like, it's okay to step away from calling yourself a liberal or left wing. That doesn't mean you're just putting on a MAGA hat and going yeehaw. No. Like Dude said, it's okay to be politically homeless, and he just feels like shit. Both sides don't really represent him, and he made a good point. The left is so humanitarian that you can't hurt anyone's feelings, but you're always gonna do that in life. You just are. It won't stop. Like there's all it's like there are pressure points. Like someone's always oppressed. Someone always got something going on. But damn, to what extent are you gonna keep going? We have to realize that this is a real world. Let's agree on some core principles and then keep it pushing. Keep it pushing, and that's all we can do. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all.
But like I stated before, there was a few things that made me leave the left that honestly I just couldn't ignore, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I will ever be on the left again. Was critical thinking. Okay, hear me out here. Okay, my brain works in very weird ways. I don't know why, but when I sat down and
See, I knew that wasn't a good idea. I knew ain't none of this was a good idea. I knew it. I fucking knew it. I was like, that don't feel like it's a smart idea. Turn around. No! Oh, fuck! Oh, no! No, 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 no! No, 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 no! Stop it! Stop! Stop! Stop the fire! Stop! Stop! Ah! Ah! No, 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 it's on top now. It's spreading. Oh, no. My work. Oh, my hard work. Stop. Stop, 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 stop.
Of course not. They don't like your ass. What the? So yeah, I actually asked the actual Republican. I got to know more, and I ended up liking her. Simple.
Easy.
Bro just burnt down his own fucking build.
And it can really take you
Now
down a
I'm
path
sad.
of just discovering your
Now
own
I'm
mind.
sad.
And all it takes is all it is. And that's what I really hope this video highlights
Start
or shows
it.
for someone out there.
I knew that wasn't gonna be a good. I knew it. I was thinking. I was like, I don't think that's gonna. I think I'm pretty sure I said something too. It's like, I don't think this is gonna be good. I'm gonna do it anyways, cause that's what he told me to, and then I did it anyways, and now we're here.
Share your opinion on these tough topics that you may already agree with me on, but don't just agree with me because I said it. Look it up. I'm more than thankful you trust me, but I want you to
Kinda sucks that I have to redo a whole bunch of stuff now.
That's one of the amazing things that Charlie really instilled in me early on in my career was just that. It's okay to challenge things. It's okay to look at different sides. It's okay to talk to the other side.
Oh man.
You'll be fine. You will. If I had to sit back and think, what was the hardest part? Yeah, like what was the hardest part about leaving the left? It was
Put that away. Put that away.
it's tough. Even this last week, seeing people I
No.
thought were super genuine and loving people,
Why'd I do
seeing how
that?
they
That is
reacted,
dumb.
it hurt looking at them different. I mourned losing friendships. I mourned like looking into my MacBook, going into my folder that has all my middle school pictures, high school pictures, and seeing people I know vehemently hate me just because of my views. But you know what? They were never a friend in the beginning. They were a stepping stone. That's all it was. And that's okay. As hard as it was stepping away, as hard as it was destructing my worldview and not being sure what to think, where to go, it was so worth it in the long run, you guys. There's more than enough content out there for you to look into. I'm very thankful you're watching this video. And I know for certain people, especially coming from the left, kind of want to resonate with different people who are like you, and that's cool. And just like any group, any ethnicity, any type of human there is, you can find a content creator for it on the right and in the middle and independent. There's so many people, so many resources, so many tools out there for you. And I just hope that you feel empowered to use that information for yourself and that you do know you will be okay. It is hard. in those circles. It's hard. You can do your best sharing information with them if they're willing for it, but it can get lonely, it can get tough, but it's called going through it for a reason. You're not stuck here. This all everything that you're feeling right now, this feeling stuck and perky and sad and mourning and just it's the season.
Dad, I'm Bud.
Let's count the smiles.
What you want? Cool, quick.
Amazon Freight.
It's the season, and it will pass. It's called going through it for a reason. You're not stuck there. You're going to survive. So whatever feelings you have right now is temporary. The only thing you can ever
Are you
do
stuck?
in this life in this realm are
Come here.
on this planet.
Walk forward.
Control. Action-oriented, steadfast,
Hey.
control the control.
Hi.
What can I do? What do I have control over? It's a different how you're thinking, how you're looking at things.
You're Coraline, yes. Good job, baby. High five.
Your environment, so
High five.
much of that plays a bigger aspect in your life than you may even realize right now. Take care of that. Is it gonna duck off? Take a few months off of social media and just process everything going on. Process who you are as a person. What are your values?
I use my phone batteries.
How do you
Mama's gonna grab her phone charger. You cute, baby. Hey, Mommy just came out of there. Stay out of Mom and Dad's room.
very blessed day. Deuces.
All right.
Greetings! Welcome back to Minecraft. Today, I begin Project Upgrade. You see, last episode, I finally updated my world to the latest Minecraft version after spending over 6 months playing on 1.21.0. And now, I want to get my hands on all the new stuff that I've unlocked. Well, new-ish. New to me, okay? And the way I'll do that is by building crazy farms for every single one of these items, starting today with resin. The little tree sap substance that these camera-sized stickmen accidentally emit when you excite them from their heart, I guess? What even is this stuff? Is it like their waste? Their blood? Well, you can use it to make more of them, so it's gotta be there. And I'm gonna build the most over-the-top factory to farm hundreds of thousands of this stuff per hour. Automatically process it into bricks with a massively overkill furnace array, and then I can easily craft all the resin blocks in the game with another massively overkill auto crafter machine. And to show you guys just how overkill this ultimate resin factory will be, the goal I'm setting for myself that I have to reach by the end of this video is to fill one double chest full of shulker boxes with each and every resin item in the game. That's 92,312 items for each resin item. Oh boy. This will either be really easy or really, really easy because I'm the GOAT. Alright, let's go. First things first, I need to decide on a location for Project Upgrade. The megabase I plan to build in the future will be
I really followed that man's instructions. Said this is gonna end badly, and then got upset when it ended badly. Okay. Yeah.
I think I want to build the factory on a mushroom island. Since no other hostile mobs can spawn there, just our little cow friends, and then the creaking, of course, when we place down their hearts. And I'm thinking this island over here should be a good spot. Let's go scout it out really quick. Yeah, this island's pretty big. We should have plenty of space for the entire factory. With the good location for the project found, I went back to base to grab some obsidian. I'll build up a basic portal so I can quickly go back and forth from this place to home. And now I need to grab materials to build a CLM for the that I came up with that's meant to be like a mobile base of operations to make building projects easier. And what does it do, you may ask? Well, it's a machine that
Have a
loads.
little anglerfish.
Basically, if I have a build I'm working on that requires a ton of shulker boxes, I can pack them into the machine, which just makes it really easy to sort through a large amount of items without creating a giant chess monster every time I want to build something big. It's just a really helpful organizational tool, basically, so I can be as efficient as possible and slowly but surely improve my upload schedule. I've changed a couple things about the machine since the last episode to hopefully make it better, but this will be the CLM version 2. I grabbed all the items I would need for it, as well as a bunch of extra beacons and iron blocks before heading back to the island. Okay, and I think a good place to build it will be in the air here, so I can fly in and out really easily, and it'll kind of stay out of my way when I'm building the factory. One of the most important parts about this machine is that it's really easy to build. So this only took a few minutes to set up. I've got an extra non-shulker box storage too for items that I don't really need like a lot of, and there are a lot of little miscellaneous items like that in this build. I'll move the portal up here from the ground and set up some haste 2 beacons across the island so that I can flatten
I'm
out some
hungry.
terrain to make room for the factory.
At least I'm feeling hungry.
Now, to make the factory
Might
building
not
process
actually be
as simple
hungry.
as
Who
possible,
knows?
I want to build a foundation first, so I have kind of a nice empty space to build all the redstone machines in. Basically, it's just some holes in the ground and a ton of concrete. So I just need to do a little bit of terraforming to make space.
So this.
Alright, that's all I need to do for now. I want to transform the rest of the remaining mushroom biome into like normal grass terrain, but I'll do that after I build up a lot of the factory because I don't want to do more than I have to. Now let's get back home and grab all the materials for the foundation. The whole factory building is going to be pretty big,
Now
so
I'm gonna
we
have
need
to go
a ton
make
of stuff.
a
Starting off with
slab.
4 boxes of smooth stone, which I already have in
Brick.
storage, then 3 boxes of
Brick
enderite.
slab.
Ooh, I might not have a lot of those actually. Yeah, I don't. I'll grab those at the end after I
Sell
AFK my
bricks
blaze
in my
farm a bit. In the
inventory,
meantime, I
yeah.
need a couple boxes of andesite, and I don't have any of that either. I think I'm running dangerously low on a lot of the standard building items I use. Here, let's do this. Let's take all the items that I just
only
mined
need
while clearing the
one,
terrain
but
of
I'm
the
gonna
island,
get
throw them in
2.
storage to be sorted, and then I'll fly all the way over here to the edge of the border circle where my mega base is going to be, and I'll build up some beacons. Now, whenever I need any natural items like dirt, stone, andesite, diorite, those types of things, I can come here and I can mine out this area, because I'm actually going to need to make this area completely flat, at least to sea level, I think, so I can absolutely nuke the entire area to make space for the base. So I spent some time mining up all the andesite and any other natural blocks I would need for the build, threw them into the CLM at the island, and now I can get everything else I already have in storage. Next of which is sea lanterns, which I don't have enough of. Bruh. I have the materials to craft them though over by the farm, so no biggie. Just craft them up really quick. Then I need some stone, a few boxes of cracked deep slate bricks that I just smelted up in my furnace array, then a ton of anvils, some tough polished deep slate grass blocks, lodestones, which I can finally use in builds now since Mojang changed the instead of freaking netherite ones. What were they even thinking with that original recipe? Like, who's gonna use this? Then I grabbed some red sandstone, more deep slate stuff, dark oak leaves, and a ton of other blocks and items I'll need to make the build look super good, including the new bushes and firefly bushes. Alright, I've got everything organized into the CLM, and we should be ready to start building. I'll start with just a simple deep slate wall as the border of the foundation, before filling everything out, going into the center, where the actual machines will be.
So
Okay, almost done with the foundation. Just gotta fill in the center here, and I forgot to grab one earlier, but I need to bring a happy guest here to help me build up some of these high up areas, like near the edge of this hole. So let me find some ghasts really quick so I can craft one. Alright, there we go. And now let's craft a dry ghast. Set you up right here. There we go. Let you grow up. And okay, now let's finish the foundation.
alright. So on the sides here, they now want the stairs. And then granite on the back.
Nivea makes your skin feel smooth like velour. Now moisturize even longer with Nivea Essentially Enriched.
Nobody likes a cracked windshield.
What was that?
But you can go to SafeLight.com and get it fixed now and pay later. Awesome. SafeLight can come to you for free. Don't wait. Get it fixed now and pay later at SafeLight.com.
Alright, that's the foundation complete, and I think everything looks pretty good. The building style I'm trying to go for here is like a modern, futuristic kind of factory. So the outside will be very clean. We have all these little grass areas, nice little walkways, and then on the inside, it'll be very user-friendly. So I'll have a bunch of catwalks and stuff like that to make operating the factory as simple as possible. I'm also going to build some balconies connecting outside to the building later, but this is all we really need to do right now before we can get building the factory machines. And to be able to build the machines, well, now I got to get the materials for the entire rest of the factory, which is like way more than the foundation. But first, just to get it out of the way, let's grab all the items I'm gonna need from the
Okay.
Some of the stuff I need for the factory itself, some of it I need for decorations, but the most important thing I need, of course, is the creaking heart, because there's no farm without it. So let's find a forest to get all this stuff from. I actually haven't explored the Pale Forest biome besides flying over it a couple times when creating the map from last episode, so these will be my first raw impressions. And I think there's one over there.
So
let's head over and
then,
explore. Alright, here we are.
sorry.
Let's do this. Okay. Oh yeah, the sky is so gray.
Excuse me.
Very spooky. Wow, the tree makes so much noise.
Coming back
I
over
like the
here.
ambience. I think it'd be cool if Mojang applied this type
Looks
of thing
like
to more biomes. I think they did it with the desert. Yeah, it adds a lot to like the immersion in the area.
This?
Okay, while we wait for night to meet our first creaking, I'll first grab a bunch of these flowers. I want to plant them all around the factory in those little grass areas that I built out on the foundation. So let's just get a ton of these things. Ooh, okay. Sun's starting to set. Let's find us a creeker. There's one. Look. Greetings. Oh.
Yeah,
My
baby.
armor? I wonder how much damage this guy even does to me. Let's
So,
see. Yep. Nothing. Literally nothing. It's probably a lot scarier when you're not already super overpowered. Okay, now how does this work? How do I get like the resin clumps? Hit this guy. Oh yeah, resin spawns around the heart here. Yeah, there we go. Then we just collect it like this. Okay. Now, how do I craft more hearts? Is it like this? Oh no, okay. Wait, maybe I need a resin block, not just a single clump? Okay, then like this. Ah, there we go. Okay, though, I'm gonna need a lot of resin clumps to be able to craft all the hearts I need. 62 stacks approximately, according to my math. That's gonna take some time to get. Wait, actually, I think I have an idea. First, let me finish grabbing all the materials that I need for this place, and I'll bring some saplings with me too, so I can farm trees back at the build site. Okay, this should be everything. I'll load it into the CLM so it's nice and sorted. And now, to get all the creaking hearts I'm gonna need, I'll grab some stone, and I'll build a little platform up here in the middle, far enough away from any other blocks where any creepers could spawn. And I'll make a little manual farm like this, where I should be able to farm up all the
how you doing, baby?
Alright, here we go. Let's test
Just
it out.
duck.
Yeah, these
Alright. Use a duck on your head, yes.
for a couple nights to get all the clumps I would need. And then crafted up the hearts. Okay, nice. That's all the Pale Forest items for the factory, and arguably the most important thing for the whole factory.
Alright, so he doesn't do this, but I'm gonna do it.
The entire thing, which is an insane amount of stuff.
And
Fun fact,
granite.
gathering all the items for these builds is
And then
probably the
it's
most
staircase, granite,
outside of editing, which is why I cannot wait to finish
staircase.
building insane and automatic factories for every item I possibly can in the game. You know, a wise man once said, the most fun thing about Minecraft is not playing it, or more accurately, just having it play itself, and then building the coolest stuff ever. We'll get there one day. The first item I'm gonna need is about a desert worth of white stained glass. Pretty easy to get, 'cause I have a bunch of recycled glass and such. Then we need 4 boxes of power rails, gray concrete, a bunch of textile items, observers, calcite droppers, quartz blocks, portals, ice, black glass, chests, spruce wood, iron doors, more fence gates, safety rails, sugar birch wood, coglets, lava, honeycomb blocks, oxygen blocks, melons, glow lichen, campfires, and pretty much every single other block in the game. I should have got
Okay.
some, but I keep those handy.
Okay.
Now we just load all the items into the CLM, and we're good to build the factory, finally. Really quick though, I want to be able to track my progress towards our goal, so I want to build
So
a
we're
tracking
doing
system
another
that will activate a lamp when the chest gets full, and
thing.
basically check off each step of our goal as I reach it. So I'll grab a couple more blocks to be able to do that, and I think I'll build the machine right over here.
Here I forgot to fill the chimney completely. You can close the gap with granite blocks. Sorry.
First, I want to start by building the shulker box module for just the resin farm itself. Since the resin farm is so insanely fast, and the furnace array only works with shulker boxes, I need to package up all the resin and then dump it into the array for the factory to work. So unfortunately, I can't just like connect the resin farm directly to a bunch of furnaces. And with this, I'll also have a switch built in that changes where the packaged resin clumps go. So in case I ever need boxes of unsmelted resin clumps, like to craft resin blocks, or if I just want to sprinkle it around the floor somewhere. The loaders I'm using load boxes at 8 times hopper speed, so roughly 72,000 items an hour. But since there's only 4 hoppers that the items enter through, and because the farm creates an insane amount of items every time you hit the creaking, I need to build 11
Whoops. I did not mean to throw those in the fire.
Lose any items. Okay, this looks good. Hopefully they work, but I can't really test it until I build the resin farm, so let's do that. I'll put in the logs and the creaking parts last so I don't have them spawning all over me when I'm trying to build the rest of the farm itself. But the machine is pretty simple. It's just some pistons all wired together inside of a big glass box, and then whenever I hit the creaking
Hey,
on the farm, it just pushes the pistons
what are you doing?
on the resin pumps.
Are you okay?
Trisha has 6 kids, all with chronic illnesses and multi-specialty prescriptions.
Are you okay?
Doesn't check health, but CVS Health supports Trisha.
Okay.
CVS Health. Healthier, happier, together.
Well, maybe we should take that off of our heads, don't you think?
Okay, that's the case of the farm done. Quick grabs a wooden sword really quick so I can test it to make sure the mechanism works properly. Snip the top here, and then stand, which triggers the pressure plate pushing the pistons. And yeah, I think the mechanism works. I waited until morning and quickly loaded in the creaking parts and the logs, and now it was time to test the farm for real. Hopefully I didn't mess up the loaders or anything. Just gotta turn them on, and then here, wait for everything to spawn. Okay, looking good. Everything's, oh wait. Oh god, yeah, should have slabbed up the terrain a bit back here. I'm an idiot. Easy fix though. Just plopped down a bunch of slabs. Now we wait for night again, and now I can test the farm. Here we go. Everything is spawning, and I just sit here attacking this minecart until morning. Alright, it's morning, and all the creaking despawned. Now I just gotta wait for the box loaders to finish loading the shulker boxes. Look how fast they load, though. I'm gonna have so much stuff, I already know. Okay, they should be done now. Turn off the machine, and let's check our haul. Holy shit. Look at that. That is over 100,000 resin clumps just from a single night of running the farm. Yeah, this thing is, just, you know, a little slightly overkill. Just slightly. I took one of the clump boxes back home to run it through my furnace array so that I could get the remaining detailing items I need for the factory, and also place one of each resin item down at the goal tracker so we can mark our progress. And, okay, that should be good. Next up, let's get to work building the furnace array. The array itself isn't really too complicated. Basically, the way the design works is you put a shulker box of coal and whatever you want to smelt at the top, and then it pops out of the bottom, repackaged back into full shulker box. Pretty simple. And it runs insanely fast, consisting of 1,728 furnaces, the exact amount you can fit in a single shulker box. So yeah, pretty good. The box unloaders at the top and the box loaders at the bottom are pretty much the most complicated parts. Everything else is just like a bunch of hoppers, rails, and furnaces. So I got it done pretty quick. Okay, the array should be done. Let's give it a test run to see if I made any catastrophic mistakes. I'll grab up a ton of resin clumps.
Hey, what are you doing back there?
And start her up. Oh god, I'm actually nervous. Please work. I do not want to rebuild this thing. I sat patiently waiting around for the furnace array to finish, and when I did, I noticed one single issue. Literally one item was missing from each box, which means somewhere in the array, a single furnace is being blocked. And yeah, that's what it was. A single torch that I guess I dropped in when I was working on it, fell in, blocking the furnace, took it out, and we should be 100% good now. I smelted the remaining items that the array missed, and then put the bricks into the gold tracker. Okay, now that I know that the machines work, I'll quickly connect them together so that the array can run automatically after the resin is packaged into the boxes. And I'll set up a little storage area too for everything after we complete the entire factory. Okay, let's let the farm run one more time now that everything is connected, and we should be good to go. Everything should just flow automatically. Okay, the night is over. Let's see if everything is good, and oh, yes. Look at all these bricks. Oh, this is awesome. All without me doing jack shit. I was taking a shower this whole time. I wasn't even at my computer. Now, the final machine we need to build for the factory is the auto crafter. So, let's start that, and hope I don't mess anything up. I've gotten pretty good at building complex redstone these days, so I'm not too worried. I should be able to get it done pretty quick. And, well, I didn't get it done very quick. I had to be very precise, and I was being very careful not to make any mistakes. So, it took me a few hours. And now, I'm not 100% sure if this will be the best way to build these ultimate factories in the future. This factory is kind of a trial.
Hey, baby, how about we stop playing up back behind there? Why don't you go play back in your room?
Into the crafting interface to run it, so it's not completely
Cora.
AFKable, but I think I'm more interested in making sure the factory is as fast
Thank
as
you.
possible versus it being as AFKable as possible. And while building it, I started to have some trouble navigating for items in the CLM, so I could consolidated all the remaining items down a little bit and disassembled most of it to make things a little bit easier. And now with the crafter complete, to be able to run it, you actually have to use blocker items of some sort, and these would just fill the spaces where you don't want an item depending on what recipe you're trying to craft. So the best item to use for this is revived flesh, since it's not used in any crafting recipes, but all the blocker items need to be the same, and I don't have that much rotten flesh, so I'll need to get more before I can craft an insane amount of this item at once. But for now, I have enough to at least test the machine. So let's try and craft one shulker box of resin brick. Just gotta load it into the machine like this, just like you would an
I
normal
hate
crafting
this.
table, and start it here. Okay,
I hate this
please work,
game.
please work.
I really do. I don't know why I play
Nice.
it.
Okay, it's working. I think I managed to build
Such a
every
dumb
machine for the
game.
factory without making any mistakes. Listen, that blocked furnace from earlier, that doesn't count, okay? I remember a time where building complex stuff like this felt completely impossible, but now it's easy. I guess that's what happens when you play this game for, 50,000 hours or whatever the hell I've logged up to this point. Now with the factory fully operational, all that's left to do to complete the first part of Project Upgrade is to decorate the facility. Before I started though, I was having problems with navigating my items in the CLM, and it was kind of annoying to deal with, so I moved all the remaining items a little bit closer to the base for easier access. I think I'm gonna have to do another major overhaul of the CLM before I use it again, because I've thought of like 10 different things I can change to make it more efficient to use, because even though it's holding all my items, navigating it quickly is still something I can improve on. Anyways, with the materials all moved, I can start decorating. To start, first I want to replace the remaining mycelia with grass to just make the remaining terrain look nicer. So I grabbed some stone and some grass and built out the island a little bit around the edges. I left some room at each end because in the future, I definitely want to connect all my buildings to a massive highway network that webs across the world, so I need to leave a little space to have room for that. With the terraforming done, next I built a much larger nether portal as the entrance to the facility. Another thing I want to do is I want to have like a standardized series of portals like this everywhere across the world, because at this size I'll be able to fly a happy guest through it, which I can use with leads in like a chest boat or a bunch of donkeys or something to transport like millions of items at once in a single trip. And this portal just looks really cool compared to, the basic small rectangle. Just gotta quickly adjust the portal on the nether side so that they connect properly, and there we go. Now before I build the actual building around the factory, I want to cover as much of the exposed redstone that I can from the factory machines. Finding a cool style for this is a little bit tricky. I'm not sure exactly what the best idea could be for decorating the machine parts, but for now I'll just kind of cover everything in a concrete frame and then just fill it in with glass paneling so you can kind of still see the guts of the machine, but it's not just exposed to the outside air. And we'll throw a little pixel art resin brick over the furnace array too. Okay, this looks good. I've been running the crafter for a while I build this too, but with the limited amount of blocker items I have, it's kind of slow since I have to constantly restart the crafting operation every time it's complete. I can't just like sit around and wait for it to run. So I think I'm gonna head over to my gold farm for the night and run it overnight to get as much rotten flesh as I can. Who knew rotten flesh could actually be used for something? Never throw anything away in this game. You can definitely use it for something. I went ahead and set up a little box loader for the flesh, and I was able to get a pretty good amount overnight. Then the next morning, I immediately started off with the rest of the building decorations. My plan is to build the entire outside first and then detail the inside after. And while I build, I'll try to run the factory at night so we can reach our resin item goal. So the first thing I'll start with is the walls encasing the crafter machine. I tried my best to add like a bunch of technical detail, which I think ended up looking pretty good. But I think, and I started to notice this while I built, I definitely made a mistake when planning the factory and ended up cramping things a little bit too close to each other. So I definitely got to keep that in mind for the next factory I build. But after the casing around the crafter was complete, I built up a tower at the entrance and slapped a couple resin ingot pixel arts on the building, in case I forgot what this factory was for. With the right side of the factory done, I went onto the middle, and for here I'll build more of a warehouse building to cover the furnace array and the resin clump shulker box loaders. And then I added some piping on the roof using some walls to kind of fill in the empty space. Then on the back side of the warehouse, I left some open doors, and these could be like a shipping access point of some kind. And I'll connect some floating bridges here a little bit later too. And now I just gotta cover the entire resin farm itself. But the thing is, creaking just spawn all over the place whenever nighttime rolls around, making it pretty difficult to do that without just getting harassed constantly. So I just decided to finish up the entrance bridge that connects to the nether portal first, and then also build the bridges and balconies that connect to the warehouse and just also wrap around the entire building. Then I was able to go back and finish up the remaining resin farm covering, painstakingly trying to spawn-proof the entire thing the whole time. But eventually, I pulled it off and wrapped up the outside with the final couple details, and of course, just one more pixel art, this time of the raw resin clump itself over the resin clump farm. And with that, the entire outside of the factory is complete. And yeah, I think I'm happy with the result. The place is fully walkable. It looks really good. Again, I think when designing, I made the place just a little too cramped amped, but I'm happy. So now we just gotta do the inside. To start, I connected some roads from the warehouse entry points to the other catwalks in the factory, and then detailing the inside really consisted of putting a bunch of light sources everywhere, adding like various support beams to make the place feel just more realistic. So after a couple hours of lighting the place up, the ultimate resin factory was finally complete. And now, all that's left to do is to finish the goal I set at the beginning of the video, which was incredibly simple now that the factory was complete, but there was one little complication. Fuel. And because of how much material this facility produces, I was burning through this stuff insanely fast. And my only source of coal right now is the very beginner wither skeleton farm that I built way back near the beginning of the series. And thankfully, I did like a multi-day AFK session a couple months back, so I had a pretty large stockpile of coal built up in storage, which got me through most of the items for the goal, but I still ran out at the very end, so I had to run a few boxes of logs through my furnace array back at base in order to get charcoal to use as a temporary substitute. But I got it done, crafted up all the items, and finally, the goal is complete. One double chest of shulker boxes for each and every resin item. Mission accomplished. Now, just a couple quick things before we wrap up here. I'll head to the map room to grab the maps for this area so I can update them just like this and put them back into the world map. Okay, that looks good. And then I need to do a little bit of landscaping around the factory.
Alright, let's see what it wants me to do.
I completely forgot to do this earlier. And I think that's good, yeah. The factory is now 100% done. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the Patreon if you want my world download, which I update every time I upload a new episode, so you can explore and have access to everything I build going forward. Okay, bye. New video soon, I promise.
Keith drinks cold with new stainless steel gear from Gatorade. Gear up with Gatorade.
Windex saw my spray away video and decided to challenge my thoughts.
It's not dripping at all.
It's like one wipe and it's clean.
Definitely no streaks on this one.
Windex for the win.
SC Johnson.
Ah!
Nobody deserves that. Not even Charlie Kirk.
Who are you, as a white man, to condemn and call minorities bad people for celebrating the deaths of their oppressors?
The kids.
On the morning of September 10th, 2025, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson decided he wouldn't be attending his electrical apprenticeship program at Dixie Technical College. At 8:23, he walks to his gray Dodge Challenger, and a little while later, he drove off to Utah Valley University. 3 hours after that, at 11:49, he exited his car wearing a different set of clothes, a cap, dark sunglasses, and visibly limping toward the parking lot adjacent to the UVU campus. He walked up the parking lot stairs, headed to the Low C Center, and then was nowhere to be seen. Meanwhile, conservative speaker Charlie Kirk was hosting one of his debate events on campus, roughly 200 yards away from where Tyler was. At exactly 12:23, a single shot rang out, piercing the left side of Kirk's throat, sending the entire campus into chaos. Although he was quickly rescued and rushed to the hospital, he only lasted for about an hour when his passing was officially confirmed. To add to the already extremely tragic situation, CCTV footage showed Tyler, then unknown to the authorities, fleeing the scene and successfully evading capture, seemingly holding on to a bag with his weapon in it. Part of why he was able to escape were two people who drew attention to themselves immediately after the attack took place. The first is George Zinn, who falsely confessed to the shooting and was promptly detained, and was reported being escorted
Oh, you know what
by the
I need
police
to
with his
grab?
pants down, as he repeatedly
It's gonna be a
asked them
great
to shoot
spot
him.
for.
As it turns out, George Zinn is a
I
man
didn't bring
with
one
a
with
long
me.
career of being a deranged nuisance orbiting political events. There are pictures of him accosting the former Utah House Speaker Greg Hughes, as well as former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani. But more importantly, George is on record claiming to have personally witnessed 9/11 and instantly knowing that Al-Qaeda was behind it. Given Zinn's profile, this was most likely a tall tale, a false account to get attention. Something similar happened in 2013, when shortly after the Boston Marathon bombing, he emailed the Salt Lake City Marathon organizers and offered to help place bombs, which got him arrested for the threats. Other things noted in his legal records are commitments to mental hospitals, being arrested for theft of services, failure to disclose his identity, jaywalking, and other stuff like that. Due to the extremely controversial nature of this entire thing, George Zinn ended up being massively misreported as being Jewish, a narrative that found its way even to former NFL star Antonio Brown. However, George is actually a mentally ill man of Greek descent. happened. Just a little while after he was detained, they noticed that he had no weapon on him, and there was no weapon discarded in the area he was in, meaning he couldn't have committed the crime. This doesn't mean he was innocent, though, as when the police brought him in for processing, he had a medical issue that led to him being taken to a local hospital. There, he admitted that he did what he did to purposely hinder law enforcement from getting the real guy, and when asked by cops for his phone, he volunteered, but not before informing the police that he had illegal material involving children on it. As if that weren't enough, he then specified to the cops that he was in possession of the material for his own gratification and had a preference for girls from ages 5 through 12. Given this guy already has dozens of previous cases, I hope he stays locked up for good. Another person of interest that immediately emerged following the attack was a man named David, who was reported cheering and chanting USA immediately following the shot. While this man's full name is harder to find than George Zinn's, he actually took to Twitter to identify himself as the one chanting, trying to explain that he did it to draw attention so the security team could escape. At face value, this is extremely suspicious, and although it's unsure if this was the second person whom law enforcement detained, it would make sense given he gave them a good reason to believe he was at least involved with whoever committed the assassination. However, a brief examination of his social media account makes it clear as day that this man too is clearly suffering from some intense delusion. In videos he posted, he suggests that Charlie Kirk was a soldier of his and speaks from the perspective of every major religion, which you don't need to be a mental health specialist to recognize as a telltale sign of schizophrenia. Despite George and David clearly committing obstruction of justice, there is no evidence indicating that they were in on what happened. Over the course of the next day, law enforcement swarmed the location and started piecing together the shooter's movements leading up to the assassination, and a series of strange things were discovered. While examining the vantage point and CCTV footage that showed his escape from the scene, they eventually found that the killer had dumped his weapon nearby, wrapped in a towel. The weapon, which is a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle with a mounted scope, was found along with its bullets. The casing, which was spent, had the words, "Notices bulge, oh whoa, what's this?" engraved on it. If you're familiar with this kind of language, which I unfortunately am, this is a meme phrase usually associated with traps. Basically, the idea of it being that the speaker is attracted to a person who looks like a woman, only to find out that they have a bulge, which the speaker is then interested in, and the word "oh being a classic emote associated with anime. The intended irony here is obvious, as Charlie Kirk is infamous for his opposition to transgenderism, so having this phrase engraved on it immediately suggests a political motive. There were 3 more casings, all of which were unspent. The first one read, "Hey fascist, catch," followed by an up arrow, a right arrow, and 3 downward arrows, which is the stratagem code for the Eagle 500 kilogram bomb in Helldivers 2. Like the previous casing, this one also had a clear political message and an internet culture related element. The second unspent casing had a brief passage of the song Bella Ciao on it, an old Italian folk song closely tied to the anti-fascist movement. Again, clearly political in nature, although unlike the other ones, this one has no internet subculture aspect to it. Lastly, the third unspent casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, Lamau." These casings alone strongly suggested that whoever the shooter was, it was someone young, at least someone young enough to be familiar with these online phrases. Unfortunately, even with the prints being lifted from the weapon, they weren't able to identify a culprit. At least to the public's knowledge, these prints didn't immediately reveal the shooter's identity, although they would become useful whenever a person of interest was detained. For the next day or so, despite information slowly being made available to the public, it didn't seem like law enforcement were making significant progress in the case. Given how high profile an incident it was, and how much it had inflamed the United States as a whole, people were pretty worked up.
I didn't believe it until I tried it myself, but if you download the AliExpress app through this video,
Why?
you can pick any 3 items that you want for a total of 99 cents, and shipping is completely free. So I decided to get these wireless earbuds, some lights for my gaming room, as well as custom grips for my controller. And as you can see, this is
Actually,
legitimately a total of
I'm
99
supposed to go the other
cents
way.
and free shipping. Click on this video to take advantage of this offer right now.
What's the secret to peak health? Going micro with you. Micro habits, micro wins, even microdose GLP-1s.
Pretty worked up, and unsurprisingly, they launched their own investigations. Once again, things get a little tricky, but this time around, it's a bit more complicated. It's important to say that, as far as any of us know, none of these people are responsible for, implicated in, or in any way related to the assassination. However, a set of tweets by someone named Omar with multiple Twitter handles. The tweets from the month of September read, "Charlie Kirk is coming to my college tomorrow. I really hope someone evaporates him, literally. Let's just say something big will happen tomorrow." After the shooting happened, this person came back to Twitter to say, "Charlie Kirk got shot. Bro, I promise I didn't have anything to do with it, but I called it and it's so deserved." Eventually, this person took down
Okay.
completely unrelated to Twitter in an attempt to prevent it from being
There's something
taken
else I
and
want to
used by
build over here.
scammers. Side note,
There's a
this
couple
story
things I want to
kind of
build over
worked
here.
because if you look up the handle on Twitter now, the first result is a fake account promoting a
Well,
crypto
one
scam in
is
the name of
like
Charlie. Pretty disgusting stuff. As
a
people saw this tweet and had a revelation of someone who accurately called that this would
water
happen,
fountain,
someone looked
and
up that
then
handle,
one
found
is
the first picture
I'm
of the
gonna do a
person, and then
couple.
spread the
I'm gonna
claim
do a
that
couple
this
like
person
I might
was
take down a
Omar
few of these
or
trees,
Taj Mahal
and I'm gonna
Sturdy.
add
The thing is, if you look up someone's Twitter handle online and go on the images tab, you may get the
statues.
images
I'm
of
gonna add
many
a
who are
statue
maybe
of at least a
associated with Charlie
pickaxe
Kirk for
over
whatever
here.
reasons. They could have
I think a
replied to each other
pickaxe
years
statue
ago
would look
and then found
good on
someone.
one
In this
side,
case, the person
and
in the
then
image
I
was an
think,
account named Michaela
or
Ultra
like
from
even in
Seattle,
just
whose
one
account is
space,
now
they
protected.
do
The thing is, decoupling these two accounts
sword,
was not enough for me.
pickaxe,
People promptly
axe,
went through their tweets and found a reply
hoe,
from
or no,
Michaela Ultra
shovel.
to a limited account that expressed they weren't fans of
I
Charlie
mean, I
Kirk.
guess I could do the
Additionally, two
hoe,
other
but
tweets
we're
were
gonna just
screenshotted,
do
which
that.
read, "I'm creating a map, coming apart at the seams. You're watching it live in real time. Keep your eyes peeled on the news." When someone replied to them suggesting they would be the next trans
Oh
shooter,
yeah.
Michaela Ultra replied by saying, "Finally someone who is smart enough to read between the lines and figure out what all my Dr. Pepper posting is about." Now, as ominous as all of that sounds, especially since these tweets were made just a day prior to the assassination, and Michaela bearing some resemblance to AI-enhanced CCTV images of the assassin, the explanation to these tweets lies in the mention of Dr. Pepper. None of the tweets made on the day prior to the attack had anything to do with Charlie Kirk, conservatism, and it clearly wasn't serious, as they were all related to DMs exchanged with the Dr. Pepper Twitter account,
Stripped.
demanding to speak to the real Dr. Pepper. On Instagram, they made a post saying, "I am suspended from Twitter, so I can't post proof of a life there, but I would like to confirm that I am not the Charlie Kirk shooter." As far as I can tell, MKayla or Michaela Ultra never hinted at doing anything to Charlie Kirk, nor confirmed what happened on the 10th. As far as who was really behind the Omar Twitter account, one person was found. First name Omar, last name Najera, like the Twitter handle, who also identified specifically as non-binary, just like the Twitter account. However, this person hasn't spoken out as of yet, and again, there is no specific evidence tying them to the crime. There was someone else, however, with much more incriminating material on their socials. Much like what happened to Michaela, as people ravenously dug through online posts to find evidence of someone connected to that Omar account who had hinted at what would happen to Kirk, they found a certain Sky Valadez. Sky was a member of a band called God's Finest Scalpel, or simply God's Finest, which was featured on a post of account Click Click Boom. Here, they're tagged as Straight Death, and if that name wasn't suggestive enough of some kind of terrorism, God's Finest had a song titled Charlie Kirk Dead at 31, which was up on its SoundCloud long before the attack happened, and a similar song called Charlie Kirk's Death Isn't Enough for Me on Bandcamp from an album titled Death to American Scum. While that is all pretty on the nose, it could just be excessively edgy trans activism. When people took to the comments of the Dead at 31 song on SoundCloud, Sky replied, "I'm not a student at any college. I don't support political violence. This song was a massive coincidence, and I'm leaving it at that. I will not take this down, as I believe in my First Amendment rights, and I believe that if you think this is disgusting, you're worried about the wrong thing." This response could have laid the issue to bed, but the people looking into this stuff weren't just looking for potential culprits, but also anyone who knew about the real shooter's plans and didn't report it or try to prevent it in any way. Despite being seemingly completely exonerated, Sky also took to Instagram. "I am not the shooter nor a current alumni at UVU. I had a dream back in March of this year when I recorded and debuted this song on SoundCloud. It is complicated and cheesy, but I did foresee the death of Charlie Kirk this year. However, not at a conference and not by the hand of a gun. I've never been a fan of Charlie Kirk, mostly because I live under the
Is there a way to make this
This led some people to speculate that they were bandmates, but
way a
as per
different
God's
way?
finest bio before Charlie Kirk's death, it was a band of one. There was one last person who was similarly picked up by Twitter as potentially having foreknowledge because
No.
just a day prior to the incident, they had
Damn
said,
it.
September 10th will be a very interesting day. While this tweet got tens of millions of views, they continued to be active on Twitter and showed proof that they very frequently made this kind of tweet. So sooner or later, this kind of coincidence would happen by sheer volume. Now, we are going to revisit the topic of people potentially having foreknowledge of the assassination, but at this point, as it stood, it was confirmed that none of these people were the killer, begging the question, who was actually behind the assassination? A whole day and a half after the shooting, on the evening of the 11th, the pictures of the killer in a cap and dark glasses were released. One of Tyler's friends, who was in the same Discord server with about 18 other people, sent the picture to their
Kind of
chat,
sucks.
joking
One
and remarking that it
side's
looked like Tyler,
all
and asked where it
detailed,
was at. Tyler
nice
responded
looking, and
saying
the
that
other's
his daughter
not.
Junior did it, to which someone else sarcastically replied, Tyler killed Charlie. Clearly, the mere concept of Tyler doing such a thing was something his acquaintances wouldn't even consider. He was a seemingly intelligent guy, as his mother proudly bragged on Facebook about his 4.0 GPA. He was a mild-mannered indoorsman who gamed a lot, and although he wasn't a Republican like the rest of his family, he also wasn't even registered to vote and didn't express his opinions that much. Because of this, the rest of his server continued to joke about turning him in to collect the $100,000 bounty on the killer, which was eventually raised to $1.2 million, or they made recommendations that Tyler not go to a McDonald's anytime soon, referencing the notorious case of Luigi Mangione, who was caught on CCTV when he stopped to get something to eat. Tyler even contributed some jokes about himself, saying he should get rid of this manifesto and exact copy rifle I have lying around. Over a few messages, he said, I heard the ammo had something about trans stuff on it, but they aren't releasing photos or exact quotes. And also, the claim wasn't
No.
backed by the official FBI, just some dude in the briefing room. I am actually Charlie Kirk. Wanted to get out of politics, so I faked my death. Now I can live out my dream life in Kansas. Now, there is some justified debate as to whether the other people in his Discord knew the full extent of Tyler's intents and actions
What if I
before,
did
during, or after the murder of Charlie
this
Kirk. Partly, it's because these messages were provided voluntarily by one of Tyler's friends,
instead?
meaning they could have either been tailored by this friend in such a way to exclude anything that would incriminate any other members of the server, or it could mean that due to this friend's forthcoming cooperation with law enforcement, he was given a degree of privilege or protection. While it's highly likely that at least one member of this Discord was aware of Tyler's crimes, it's also likely that multiple, if not the majority of the members had no idea. And some of them even expressed grief over the assassination, remarking that Charlie didn't deserve it. Regardless, Tyler definitely seemed intent on keeping people under the impression that he was innocent, and this included his family. For nearly 2 whole days, he kept his family in the dark, and he probably would have strung them along for longer if he could. But on the evening of the 11th, Tyler's father, Matt, saw the pictures of the killer on the news. To his unimaginable shock, he saw his son being reported about on national television for having murdered Charlie Kirk. Despite his own shock and disbelief, Matt went to his son and simply asked him, Tyler, is this you? This looks like you. Tyler immediately confessed.
Well, there was a midnight report from Ben County carrying his mantle cell visit in his home. ICC authorities say he may have been previously seen in his father's factory.
We're nearly finished. Just hold on. This part is about decorating the blacksmith.
Alright, so we want to come back up. It looks like we got a little step up here. That makes sense, kind of.
Matt promptly contacted their local Mormon bishops via messenger and asked them what he should do.
What are you doing, baby?
The risk of Tyler ending up getting the death penalty, they had to turn him in, which his father did, while also refusing to accept.
Hey, let's not play by the door, okay? I love you. Thank you.
Tyler felt the urge to come clean to his friends on Discord. Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this. I'm so over it to rush you out. Thank you for all the good times and laughs and memories.
Alexa. Never mind. Girl, what are you doing to your TV? You need to stop touching your TV. Next time I see stuff on you, I'm gonna clean it right now. And next time I see stuff on that TV, you're gonna get spanking for it. I don't know how many times I have to tell you to stop touching the TV. And I'm tired of it. And obviously, gentle parenting this is not working, so we're gonna go to spankings next. That's your option. There's my glass spray. Don't touch your TV. You're lucky you're not getting spankings this time. 'Cause I'm pretty sure even Daddy has told you to stop touching the TV. Next time I see stuff on that TV, you're gonna get spankings. Only thing that should be on that TV is dust. Now I might as well clean my TV while I'm at it. God knows the actual last time I dusted that dang TV. I used too much cleaner. I gotta go grab another paper towel. Maybe. Guess not. This worked.
Instagram account, and possibly the most appealing one of all of them, a Reddit account. Before we get into the actual contents of Lance's Reddit, it's important to note that due to the lack of information up until this point, a lot of people resorted to creating imagined versions of this person that were convenient to their preconceptions. Some people were prone to immediately and completely exonerate Lance due to his cooperation with law enforcement. Others leaned toward the narrative that he was at least complicit, if not actively pushing or pressuring Tyler to do what he did. Unsurprisingly, neither of these assumptions were exactly true. His Reddit history goes back over half a decade, and up until 2024, there are several patterns people pick up on. For example, very early on, around 2019, you can find references to shows about killing furries, criticisms to J.K. Rowling for making Harry Potter characters gay, and even positive comments on campaigns like It's Okay to Be Black, as well as criticisms of how black people were socially allowed to exclude white people from their spaces, but not the other way around. Clearly, in 2019, Lance wasn't what you'd call a staunch left-winger, to say the least. But something changed in 2020. Before, Lance often made positive posts relating to other Reddit users over his intent of getting his video game addiction under control, wanting to start lifting weights again, get good grades, and find a girlfriend. After 2020, one of the first significant posts on his account was him arguing with other people over transgenderism. Specifically, Lance can be seen calling his old self transphobic and claiming that children should be allowed to transition. It also seems he began exploring existentialist philosophy, taking an interest in Nietzsche and Stoicism as they related to
He
managing
just...
suffering and
Alright.
negative/painful situations that you wish to be out
It's
of.
kind of
By
close for
2022,
chair, bro.
he was already posting to subreddits like femboy_IRL and r/196, both of which are well known for their predominantly trans user base. This isn't to say he was a conventional left-winger, though, as multiple posts signaled that he was sufficiently far left and that he no longer believed in political parties altogether, claiming that all they were after was money. Another interesting side here is his continued investment not only in video games, but also in websites like Orphan, and more specifically, the
I love you.
dive into what goes on R9K. You can watch my video about breakdowns
I
of
love
Orphan
you
below, but
in
to make a
the
long story
evening
short,
and
it's
in the
infamous for being
afternoon.
full of rabid incels, transgender people, and combinations of the two.
Oh,
All of whom are currently over feeling socially excluded or otherwise
skimming.
dysfunctional. If you've
I
been listening to what I've been saying, then I
love
think you're starting
you.
to get the idea. All of this automatically put Lance squarely outside of the regular political spectrum. And although he was clearly left-wing, he definitely felt ambivalent about a lot of issues. For example, in one instance, he actually made fun of people who got upset that the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's, Scott Cawthon, had donated to Republican politicians, and complained about incessant Russia versus Ukraine discussions creeping into the subreddits he frequented. At a surface
Actually,
level, Lance wasn't
I
an
think this is
extreme
where
outright
me and my
Trump
man
hater. He
divert.
posted on the Jordan
So.
Peterson subreddit, criticizing eggers bars and expressing his distaste for how much of the sub had been overtaken with political discussions, while also specifying that Jordan had been pivotal to his personal growth, complimenting his 12 Rules for Life book, and defending him from detractors. Another expression of his lack of political rigor is that while he posted a lot on a joke sub called Love for Landlords, which sarcastically praises landlords while depicting them as the most cruel and greedy capitalists imaginable, he also posted to r/noworking, which parodied the infamous leftist sub r/anti-work. But make no mistake, in spite of his overall lax attitude towards politics, there were some things he took more seriously, and he only grew to take them more seriously as time went on. First off, he unsurprisingly had a more concerned approach when it came to gender ideology, condemning misgendering, and even raising an issue with how the left commodified the trans rights cause. Oddly enough, his post about it is on the r/anarcho-capitalism subreddit, although it doesn't seem like Lance has any other activity associated with libertarianism, besides a few passing comments on the legalization of drugs. Before he had any cohesive political beliefs, from a young age, Lance struggled with substance abuse. While he took an interest in subreddits like r/shrooms and r/acid granted, it's his post on r/alcoholism that is the most revealing out of all of them.
I
In a reply to
need.
someone talking about how alcohol can cause blackouts, he wrote, "I appreciate the resources. I'll definitely read through the Alcohol Explained book. The blackout piece was solid. I don't think about choking. I am so glad I can't fall asleep on my back. It kind of
There
saved
we
me
go.
there. Lol. I kind of feel like it's too late on the addiction part because I did a ton of weed earlier in my teens, and I can tell it messed with my energy and attention levels. And I mean this in no edgy or depressing way, but I don't really see myself making it past about 25 at this rate, so I'm not too worried about the long-term effects. I think I'll wait until legal age at least to try any alcohol again, though." While this is quite revealing on its own, with Lance expressing a certain degree of hopelessness about his own life expectancy, it gets more interesting when you check the other comments on this thread and notice he's replying to all of them. Based on this, despite the original thread now being deleted and
We're
having
going
its
this way.
comments,
There we
as
go.
well as who created it, hidden, the Wayback Machine reveals what was originally there. In the thread's body, Lance, who would be 19 or 18 at the time this thread was made, tells a story in which Lance drank anywhere from half to a whole bottle of 40% vodka in 2 hours, while simultaneously being high, blacked out, and waking up with vomit everywhere. Clearly, there was something wrong with him. And other posts also have him talking about suffering from bulimia. Although there are some associations between
He
eating
might be
disorders
downstairs.
and
Let's
substance
see.
abuse, and also with both of those things and gender dysphoria, what's important to focus on here is how it all contributes to his aforementioned hopelessness. The idea that he'll be dying soon, no matter what. Based on other posts of his, Lance identified himself and his friends as abandoning religious beliefs, and even described a situation in which his family basically disowned him relating to it. While this matches the testimony of one of Lance's relatives, it doesn't tell the full story, as he continued to live with his family for a good while after. Even after he moved out to be roommates with Tyler, the Venmo shows he continued to get money sent to him by his parents, and it's quite likely they helped them with their housing, since the place they shared cost $1,800 a month. And as far as is publicly known, neither of them had very good jobs to afford that kind of place. Even if they had issues with them, both Lance and Tyler appeared to receive continuous support from their families, despite their lifestyle. While there has been a lot of conflicting information about this, Lance was indeed undergoing a transition, at least as of a year ago, as he could be seen talking about the effects of HRT on r/training.y about a year ago. Soon after that, about 10 months ago as of me writing this, he already mentioned having a boyfriend, which coincides with reports he was in a relationship with Tyler. There's one last bit of info that I think is worth correcting. There's been some speculation that Lance's Instagram bio having the word fish finder is some kind of coded message about grooming minors into becoming trans. While that is a very real phenomenon, with the likes of Giggly Goon Clown being obsessed with doing exactly that, in this case, it's incorrect. Not only is Lance on the record years ago talking about how much he likes going fishing, but he also has some posts criticizing online trans communities for calling other people ales, which basically means they're trans but haven't discovered themselves yet. With all of this established, and paired with testimonies from their relatives, there was nothing particularly unusual about their upbringing. This extremely sad and dark picture from Tyler's mom's Facebook shows him in 2013 playing a game on his computer. Lance is no different, although instead of performing really well academically, like Tyler, Lance actually seemed more socially well-adjusted and artistically inclined.
I was at the gym yesterday and I overheard this guy next to me say, "Look, I got a video." I know, but he didn't know that I could hear him. And honestly, I'm just a
pianist, and I like piano because it gives me something other than playing video games to do with my fingers.
But from 2019 to 2024, both of them slowly moved from somewhat apolitical to left-wing, with a large emphasis on the topic of trans rights. While Lance's was well documented through his own Reddit, Tyler's was quieter. But there, nonetheless, a former classmate of his described him as being a Reddit kid. Seemingly, just like something happened in 2020, a similar effect took place in 2024 when
It's
Lance and
Musk,
Tyler
right?
moved in together, and their families started to notice both of them feeding off of each other and becoming more politically politically inclined. For a few days after the assassination, the exact dynamic between them was unknown. But just a few days ago, their final Discord messages to one another were released, and they read as follows. Tyler, drop what you are doing. Look under my keyboard. Lance, what? You're joking, right? Here, Tyler is referencing the note I had mentioned earlier that had been destroyed and was recovered, where he declared he was going to take Charlie's life. Their conversation continued. Tyler, I'm still okay, my love, but am stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come
Oh, jeez.
To be honest, I had hoped to keep this a secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you. Lance, you are the one who did it, right? Tyler, I'm sorry. Lance, I thought they caught the person. Tyler, no, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet. Almost quiet enough to get out. But there's one vehicle.
What the heck, phone? Stop. No. I don't even know what you just brought up. Please stop. Alright, let's see. Am I feeling that? Am I feeling that? Oh, I guess that works. I misplaced my torches. Are they not in my inventory? No. So I did my regular where torches go, because I have before, and there they are, right in front of my face. Even looked there. Now I feel kind of silly. Can I do one more? No. That sucks. Damn it. Actually, I didn't know if I can do it on that side. These make this so I can't put the strap there. Man, I was gonna put more here, but there's a door there. I could do this. And just do like one more. No. It don't fit. Okay, I think it might be some point. You know what, we can have the table here, I guess. Which would be I'm gonna do this a little differently. Okay. Little like lunch table. So get another some lanterns. Gonna need those. And then the next one goes on the table. So these away for a moment. Damn it. Forgot to grab these. Okay. Everything's looking good. So, barbecue. Do I have a chain on me? No, I don't. I need the chains on me, chains on me, chains on me. I need these chains on me so I can make decisions. We're gonna make it hang by two right here. Did I put the lanterns back? I put the dang lanterns back. Dang it. Lanterns. I don't like that. What do you want? I know this is supposed to be like a little entrance. Maybe we'll figure it out. We're gonna kind of do this situation. How may I help you? Okay. So then I might do something like this. Go back there. Okay, how may I help you? Okay, I got a little trash can right there. Maybe I get... Alright, you keep the 5 pounds in my inventory. It's like a trash can. Maybe on this side is better. Grab my lunch. Okay, guys, I'll see you later. Bye. Alright, I'll be right back. Hi, I'm here. Hello, Karashai. I've been here. I've been talking to you. I'm sorry. If you're already gone, oh, I'm so sorry. I was muted. I'm sick. And I sneezed really hard a bit ago. And, I try to mute myself when I sneeze. When I do the sneezes. Webslinger 23. And then we can do... Now we have to go back to this stream. I said commander, it's comrade now. Okay. Did I already hit enter? I guess I did. Okay. R TV dot space all lower cases retro terminal velocity enter. No, you are there, Karasha. You're in there. I didn't think you were in here. Okay, what did I need? I wanted to do something else. Over here. No, I forget. We're gonna make more buckets for lava. I don't really want to make more buckets for lava. Let's see. I should at least fill up each of the 3. So plus 2, 9, 27 plus 9 is 36. Plus 2 is 38. We need 38 buckets. 16 plus 16 is 32. Plus another 6. 2 stacks plus 6. I could have done that up there, I just realized. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. In the water. Might as well just make that last bucket. Pop. Swimming in the water. Bum 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 bum. Oh no. Bubble 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 pop. Five little rainbow fish swimming in the water. 5 little rainbow fish swimming in the water. Bubble 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 pop. Five little rainbow fish swimming in the water. 5 little rainbow fish swimming in the water. Little rainbow fish swimming in the water. Bubble 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 pop. Four rainbow fish swimming in the water. Four rainbow fish swimming in the water. One rainbow fish swimming in the water. Bubble, 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 pop. Bubble, 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 pop. Six. Five little rainbow fish. I bet my mother-in-law's home. I'm gonna mute myself again, guys. I'm sorry. Alright, they're done. Bum, 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 bum. Five little rainbow fish swimming in the water. Hey, let's not be playing by the door. I've already asked you that, please. I get Daddy will be home soon, but you need to not be playing by the door. Because he's gonna come in through that door and open that door, and it's gonna hit you because you're playing around that door, and you're gonna get upset. Hey, what did I just say? Don't look at me like that, little girl. I swear on God. On God. Test me today, little girl. Test me. Five little rainbow fish swimming in the water. I hit the fucking firework button. Damn it! Damn it, I thought I saw a different shiny. This is not where it's supposed to be. All right. Wee. Bum, 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 bum. And then the mine. So now it's all attached. So we got the blacksmiths, the library over there, next to the trading hall. So that's where all your traders are, and you could get all your books and libraries, go enchant your stuff, or you can come over here, use any of the anvils, enchant your stuff, repair your stuff, grindstone it off, unenchant it, fuel source, even though it's not actually a fuel source. Kind of looks like there's pallets of these ore blocks, so decided to choose between diamond and iron. I brought a couple other blocks down, but I ended up using diamond and iron because those are like, I feel like the main blocks that are the main ores you use. So there's that, and then you come in. I got even more blast furnaces for ore smelting. This is the blacksmith, so I did put just blast furnaces instead of a mixture like I did at the mine. And then I come up here, and then there's extra storage. I didn't really know what to do with this space, so I just made it an extra storage space. And then you come down. There is an exit on either side. And then a few things he did differently is this bit was wood, or fencing, but it caught everything on fire, and there's carpet right here. But yeah, for some reason he didn't think, and it caught everything on fire, so I had to quickly change that. I went with a different look. Instead, I went with these brick walls and the iron bars. Instead, trying to make it look good. I actually think I might want to add some more iron bars right there at the top. So let's grab perfect two. A couple of these. And then we'll keep kind of just exploring the build some. That's not where I wanted it. Damn it. Yeah. Alright. So the sign was changed. He did it a little different. He did upside down stairs right all along here. But because of how it or instead of these blocks, it's upside down stairs, but I didn't really like how that looked. So instead, I just went with a square sign with trapdoors and the no blocks. And then up here, I added a lightning rod and a lightning rod there, so that hopefully the lightning will strike these instead of my build. And then he added flower pots up here. I'm not sure if you can really tell that there's flower pots up there, just because... Yeah, okay, you can. Yeah, it's basically my build. Now what I'm gonna need to do is just a bunch of terraforming. Gotta add a bunch of trees, maybe some grass, definitely some flowers. Which I also want to do a flower. You know what? Let's go update our to-do list. Since the blacksmith is done, we can remove that and we can add a few things. Blacksmiths. Remove that. I want to do statues. Yes, statues. Actually, we're gonna do statues. And then blacksmith. There is a lava fountain I want to do. Fountain, and then come back around here. I think I have another empty space. I do terraforming. We're just gonna do terraforming. Because, you know, ugh. Unless I have that over here. No. Alright, okay. And we'll come back over here. Alrighty guys, well with that I think I'm gonna end the stream today. I did say it was gonna be a short one in the description. I am sick and I do have plans today because it is my daughter's birthday was yesterday and we're gonna go celebrate I guess today, or people are coming to celebrate today. I don't know really what the plan is since nobody really talks to me about that kind of stuff, but I digressed either way. So yeah, thank you guys for watching if you watch. Again, sorry if I was quiet in some parts. I was talking a lot. I just had to mute myself because I was sick and I was coughing or sneezing or doing something and I just forgot to unmute myself. Streams will be different in the future. They're not going to be as laid down or hopefully low down. I mean, they're not like super hyped or whatever. So like, we're chill. We're chill. We're still going to be chilling. But I'll be doing more talking. Anyways, once again, thank you guys for watching and supporting the channel. And it means a lot to me. And yeah, so leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more in the future. We're at 85 subs and we're hoping to reach 100 subs soon. So once again, leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more in the future. Mwah! I love you. Okay, bye. Mwah!